Cheers, successful 2023.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'll talk about whatever. My life's all kinds of crazy.
Hit the bell!
Because you have an Android.
Oh, yeah. That's just suck.
Just subscribe already.
Yeah, you want to hop in this?
Let's do it.
All right, James Johnson, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you out. You guys, YouTube's telling me that 75% of you guys are not subscribed. That's absolutely insane because I upload almost every single day. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe with the bell so you guys never miss a video. So how I even heard about you is I think it was Dan Coons that came on my podcast.
Okay.
And do you know Dan Coons?
Yes.
So he came on my podcast and I think he was just talking about you. Do you have some type of class or something that you kind of go to and talk for like motivation or something? No? I was trying to think of, I don't remember what it was. I really don't remember why I reached out.
I watched some of the podcast with Dan. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I turned it on sometime last week. After you reached out, I'd seen the clips you posted because Dan shared one of them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, just watching some of it. I don't know when I turned it off at, so I didn't hear it. So I don't know what part it would have been from.
No, I don't know.
I didn't even tell him I was coming on here.
No, I think it was after the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just after the podcast. We're sitting around, we're just chatting. And I think he just brought you up. I don't think he's like, hey, you should reach out to James Johnson. I think he was just talking about something. And I think you don't have nothing like that where like, I could have swore it was something from, he brought up your name.
I don't know.
And something, it was something like that. Or maybe it was just something you did for him.
Dan and I met through Planet Gymnastics. It's a gymnastics place in Union, Missouri. Mm-hmm. And I trained there and then I coached there. And then we had like a parkour thing start up there. And Dan and I had a mutual friend that had gone there. And then that's not exactly how we met. He'll laugh when he hears that part. Sure. But how we like became friends more so was through.
Sure. That was the early days.
Yeah.
Basically.
Back in 2007.
Well, yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
Because I would have. Well, how old would you have been? 2007.
16.
Wow.
Yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah, so quite a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
So I want to, because I don't even know that much about you. This is our first time meeting.
Yeah, we just met 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and we kind of just hopped into this real quick. But I kind of knew about you before anyway.
Okay.
But I never really, like, Dan's definitely what brought it to the light.
Gotcha.
Like, and then I was like, oh, you know what? That guy I'd love to have him on the podcast. So I reached out to you. You've been, like, since the day I reached out to you, you were very optimistic about coming on the podcast, which was awesome. I love those kind of people. Anyone that's been on my podcast is the exact same way.
They all signed the board?
They all signed the board.
I'm definitely going to have to sign the board.
Anyone on this podcast is definitely passionate about what they're doing, high energy, great people. And that's, like, it's usually, like, as soon as I reach out to someone about a podcast, I know right away. Like if they respond like in a positive way, it's like game on. Like I know it's going to be a good podcast. And then there's some of them, they're like, yeah, I'd love to, but I got this going on, or I'm busy. And it's just, sometimes I'll reach back out, but a lot of times I'll just let it go until they want to reach out to me. But I kind of want to know for the people that are listening and for myself, because I know you've done quite a few different things. And there's some things that I know that I want to hear more about that you did in your past.
Okay.
But like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's James doing right now in his life?
Well, right now, my wife and I, we had our first kid, a daughter. Her name's Stella. Had her last year in January. So a lot of raising my daughter. That's like the main focus of what we've been doing. That's day in and day out. It's like her doing stuff with her, like just having fun. For business stuff, we have a nutrition business we run mainly online. And then I also do trampoline shows.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like trampolines, our nutrition business online, and then my daughter, and then also disc golf. I'm like the hugest disc golf player.
So is that something you just do for fun though?
Mainly, yeah. I mainly do it for fun. I started some social media stuff up, made a YouTube channel, do some like disc reviews, course reviews, just like relatable disc golf content.
What's the YouTube channel called?
It's called FlippyJamesDG.
Okay.
So
why not? Because I seen you had your own personal YouTube too. Why not combine it?
So my personal started from whenever I was on tour in the circus. And so we were in a different city every week. And so I would make like a vlog of each city. So just put pieces together from like the week, and then that would be the thing. And then it kind of transitioned into just like whatever I was doing at home, but it was really forced when I came home. And then I kind of just would put random videos up of whatever. Like sometimes I'd want to go make a video of like, there's one of like a friend's birthday party on there. We had a bunch of fun. And so it wasn't very like centered towards something. And so I know like niching down is a very good thing to do to like grab an audience. And so made a separate channel for that, named it Flippy James Disc Golf. So in disc golf, whenever you throw like right hand, backhand like this, if you throw it on an angle and the disc is called understable, the like slang for it is flippy.
Okay.
And so I also do flips on trampoline. So I just kind of merged the two and made that, and then wanted like a dedicated channel just for disc golf stuff.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. So, okay. So you said you're in the circus. You
Yes.
toured for the circus for a while.
Yeah. So I started trampoline, like jumping on trampolines in 2006. I was a lifeguard at the pool in Sullivan, Missouri, and I was just there with some girls that go do gymnastics. Then they're like, hey, you can try the class for free. And me and a couple of buddies were like, yeah, let's just go. So much fun. Like I had a blast.
Yeah.
And so I started going once a week, then twice a week. And then it turned into stop playing sports for school and then transitioned directly into trampoline. Was there like 5-6 days a week, 20 hours a week, just training. And then for competing.
Because it's I like that you did it, because I remember when I was a kid, like in elementary school, and it kind of phased out by the time I got to high school. But that's what all my friends were doing. Like I remember one of my friends, we would go to his house, and we just started out like on a trampoline doing flips, all kinds of flips, and then it got to the point where we're doing flips off the trampoline, and then it transitioned into like I remember it's just a single story house, 8 foot tall, 10 foot tall. Probably 10 foot tall, but we started doing backflips off his house onto his trampoline. And then it got to the point where we were just doing backflips off his house. And then like they kind of all like my friends definitely branched out more than me because they had more guts. Like me, I was always scared of landing on my neck, but some of them got really good, and they were flipping off trees, and they were doing flips all the time. And it even progressed to the point where they were going to gymnastics places.
Where'd you live at?
I grew up in Gerald, Missouri.
In Gerald?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where did they do gymnastics at? Do you know?
Well, then none of them actually made it to that point.
Oh, gotcha.
It was just all like,
just for fun, out and about?
yeah, but like they were all super good at it, and it was in that same time era, like probably around 2007, maybe a little bit earlier. And even one of my friends, Nick Green, who he ended up moving out to California, and like he was big into YouTube at the time. He was a big skateboarder. We were all
cool.
skaters. And so, but he moved out to California and kind of pursued like his YouTube dream and his skating dream. But he had a YouTube channel where he was doing the flips, and he was doing it a lot. He really went all in on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just, that's kind of like whenever I started watching your stuff, I was like, oh, I got to have this guy out because I wanted to hear more about it. But I also like the fact that like your YouTube content too. Because I was like kind of looking at some of that, and you were doing vlogs, and that's something I want to transition into eventually.
It's fun. It was good in the circus. So like after I stopped competing, I did one show for a company in the U.S. I still do shows for them, and it was like just me and this other guy on one trampoline, and I did my first show, and I was like, wow, I hate competing. Like it just flipped a switch and made me realize when I go to competition, it was like.
This is for gymnastics.
Yeah, just trampoline, specifically trampoline.
Okay.
And it was just like nerve-wracking and like pressure, and I didn't mind it so much being pressure, but it just like I realized I wasn't ever having a lot of fun. And then when I did my first show, I was like, this is fun. And so I started doing shows, and then I ended up working for Cirque Du Soleil for like 3 years, a little over 3 years, and then just went on tour with them. So
you said you did it. Is that considered a circus then?
Yeah.
That's considered a circus. So how do you transition? How do you make this transition from doing it in high school, like just going to a gymnastics facility, jumping on a trampoline? You said you did it competitively,
right?
But how do you make the transition to where you're like, okay, I want to actually like. You said you didn't like the competition side of it. Seems like you like the performing side of it more.
Yep.
How do you make that transition? Like, where did that come about? Like,
it really came about from that first show. And where I would still do shows for them, it would be more like gig work. Like it'd be like you'd be gone for a day or two,
But how'd they contact you?
Through competition, actually. So
Okay.
two of the guys that I compete with, their dad started the company, and then they would do shows. And so they asked me to come do a show for them, and I met them through competition, and then just content, like we post a couple videos on YouTube, and that's kind of how it started to transition from there.
So it was considered a circus.
It wasn't so much a circus. The first one was for like a kids camp in like New Jersey or something.
Whoa.
Yeah, I flew somewhere, they picked me up, and then we went and drove to this camp, set up a trampoline, and just like, I don't even remember what it was for. It was like, they had like a couple food trucks, a petting zoo. I remember in this field, and then we just did a show for these kids, I think twice. Like,
How old were you at this time?
it was 2011, I think, so 20.
Okay, so right out of high school.
Yeah, like I graduated 2010, so yeah, right out of high school.
What were you thinking on your first gig? not like you're crazy for doing it, but like when someone's like, "Hey, we're gonna fly you out to Jersey, and you're gonna do this gig," and then you're showing like you're flying across the country, and you're.
I don't really remember what I thought about it back then. I was excited for sure. I was like, excuse me. I was excited. Like, I was like, oh my, someone just called me and they want to give me money to come jump on a trampoline. Like, this has never happened before.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess because at the time you were very, very passionate about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And so it was like a very exciting moment.
Yeah.
In your life. Like, okay, I can actually do this and get paid for it.
Right. That's kind of what flipped that switch. 'Cause
I
competing costed money,
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I think you had to you had to be top notch to make anything. And I don't even think a lot of guys were getting paid to compete back then.
Right.
I think like stuff was just like paid for instead of making an income with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the pressure of it too.
Yeah.
The pressure versus, like you said, you got to pay or you're not making no money. And by the time you're 20 years old, it's kind of like, all right, I kind of would like some money.
Yeah.
Now in my life. And it's not all about the money, but yeah, it's nice to be able to get paid, to be able to continue doing things like that.
Yeah.
So you said you did that for 3 years, or was that with?
That was just like a company I still work for. Then through
Okay, you said that's like a gig job.
yeah, like a
I
gig
see.
job. And then I started meeting some more people. I went on this show that was out in California that was supposed to be like a horse show, but they wanted trampolines in it. And so
Show as in like TV show or just
like a big top tent that would travel.
Gotcha.
So kind of like Cavalia, if you've ever heard of that. That's like one of the biggest named like horse shows, I think.
Okay.
It was going to be similar to that. Some things didn't work out with it. But I met some awesome people, like people I still talk to this day.
Yeah.
And so from meeting them, they put me in contact with like kind of how to, so in Cirque du Soleil, you kind of have to audition. And then that's just to like get your name put into a system. It's not like you audition for a specific show. You like show them everything you can do. They have you do certain things, and then they'll put your name into like this database, and it's like they can pull people from it when they need it.
Oh, okay.
And so this girl that was on my show had just finished. I don't remember what show it was. It was a Vegas show that they had. Elvis. It closed down. It was Cirque du Soleil Elvis show, and she moved to ours, and she was like, send in your video and just tell them to update your profile. And so I didn't have a profile. I never went to an audition or anything. I just sent this video to some email she gave me and was like, hey, I need my profile updated. So I think I got one created for me.
Oh, okay. Maybe they thought maybe they thought that like someone threw it away. Or
Yeah, like it got deleted.
So
I have no
We'll
idea.
just make one up real quick.
So I made that. Didn't hear anything from them for a while. I actually got hired to do, I worked at Universal Studios in Japan for 5 months.
You moved to Japan?
Moved to Japan, yeah.
Like how did you have citizenship?
No, I don't know how it all worked. I don't even remember.
Really? So how old were you at this time?
That was 2013. So 22.
Wow.
Almost 22.
Okay, so you did Universal?
Yeah, we
pull
worked.
all the strings.
We did
for
this
you?
trampoline show. We worked for a company that hired Universal. So it's this guy named Bello Knock out of Florida. He's got like this tall blonde hair. His family's like generations of circus. Like he has this place called the Funny Farm we went to in Sarasota. Like it's his house, but it's like a big circus farm.
Okay.
And so we did like a training, and then we flew out to Japan. We were there for 5 months doing a show. Came back home, and then it was like a year and a half later, I got an email, and it's from Cirque du Soleil, and they're like, hey, we want you to be a temporary artist for 6 weeks. because some guy got hurt. He like fell walking out of the bathroom, like down some stairs, and hurt his ankle. So like, hey, we need you for 6 weeks. I'm like, sweet, I'm going back to Japan because I loved it.
Yeah,
Japan's
Can we
amazing.
talk about Japan?
Yes, like
let's talk
as long
about.
as you
I
want.
want to hear more about like what happened as you got back.
For sure.
But Japan's a very interesting thing. And do you know who PewDiePie is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyone that watches YouTube that's on YouTube know who PewDiePie is. Do you know he moved to Japan?
No.
I think it was like a 4 or 5 year journey for him to get citizenship. He moved there completely. Like
Wow.
he's full time living there.
Where's he from originally? Canada? Sweden.
Sweden. Yeah,
Okay.
he's Swedish. Yeah.
Cool.
And then
That was
and
my
it-
first time out of the country was to Sweden.
Really?
Yep. I'm just
Why?
gonna throw that in there.
Why
For
is that?
competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is young.
2011.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. I've never been. It's on my bucket list, though.
Cool.
I will go there for sure.
I went during like the peak pollen season, and I had a double ear infection and something else that I found out when I got back. I got like second to last place in the competition because I had no balance. It was horrible.
Wow.
But
Sounds rough.
beautiful.
Sweden was cool,
Sweden's
though.
beautiful.
Still, the experience is definitely
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So he moved there, and I've just been watching videos, like his videos. He's been doing vlogs.
Okay.
Which is not like him at all, but he's been doing vlogs, and it's just really got me like interested in it.
Yeah.
Like, so how'd you do with like the different languages?
It wasn't
Was that a barrier for you?
sort of. We had a lot of people with us, so like we traveled together. The first time I went there, work was really easy to get to. Like they put us up in an apartment that Universal had for foreigners pretty much. And so it was like a bike ride to this little ferry, and the ferry would take us across the water, and then another 5-minute bike ride to work. So like that was easy. But the trains were kind of difficult to get a hold of because like there wasn't a whole lot of English for it, and it was just like colors for lines. But a lot of people were really easy to talk to. Like you'd be surprised. Some people would be able to speak fluent English, but they're so nervous they would act like they didn't. Or it was the opposite, where people were
They
so
were nervous?
Yeah, like some Japanese people are really shy, it seems like, for that. Like they were like, but then you would just find out that they also speak English. Mainly from the people that I worked with. I didn't like experience this in public, but then there would be people that would just come up to you with like their phone in their hand and ask you what time it is because they wanted to speak English.
Oh, okay.
That happened on me outside of like a 7-Eleven. Like her phone's here. And she's like, hey, do you know what time it is? And like,
So she
she's
can
so
hear it.
excited. Yeah, exactly. But everybody's so nice.
Yeah.
So polite. Everything's so clean.
That's what I've heard.
Like there's no trash cans hardly anywhere, but the streets are completely spotless. Yeah, I love Japan.
Is it just strict? Is it just the way like their culture and
I
the
think
way
it's
they
respect.
race
I don't think it's a strictness. I think it's out of respect.
for their culture?
Yeah.
And for their
And other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a better way to put it because I think that's kind of what PewDiePie talks about.
Yeah.
In his vlogs, like how friendly the people are, how clean it is there. It's very interesting. It's very interesting because it's not very big.
Yeah, not at all. It's like, I don't know, maybe California or like the
Yeah.
west coast of the U.S.
Yeah, I think so. I think I looked it up and Era, we've looked it up before, and it's literally just like the East Coast, the size of the states on the East Coast. So pretty small.
It's flipped.
Yeah, yeah. Shape not the same exact, but yeah, I think like landmass size.
You have to go.
Same. I think I probably will one
Yeah.
day. The older I get, the more I want to venture out and like see other countries. Greece is on my bucket list.
Ooh, Greece would be cool. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's definitely on the bucket list.
Why do you want to go to Greece?
I just think it'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
I just think I'm big on beaches. I think it's gonna have a beautiful beach. I don't know. It just looks cool.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of like travel vlogs. Mm-hmm.
Who's your
And
favorite?
I don't have a favorite actually. No,
You watch Nate and Kara or Kara and Nate? That's what it is. Kara and Nate.
I couldn't even tell you the names of them.
Okay.
I probably might subscribe to one of them. There's one guy that he does it. I think this is how I got into it. His his clickbait title just got me there. It was see how long he could survive off of like a short amount of money. So like I think he
Younger guy,
he's a younger guy, probably
like 20s, right?
yeah for sure.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, and he's like, see how long I could live in Thailand, or see if I could spend $10 a day in Thailand or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was,
Yeah.
but it was super cheap. And I think he was paying for, what's the one that's like all shared living? Like you can
A hostel.
hostel, yeah.
Yeah.
He was staying in a hostel, and there was like 12 other people that could stay in this room, and he just had a cot with a curtain that slid in front of him, and he had one outlet with one light bulb in front of him. But I think it was less than $1 a day.
Yeah, hostel. I've only stayed in a hostel once, but we did it. There was 4 of us, and so we got our own room with 4 beds.
Yeah.
But it was $25.
Cheap.
Yeah, for the night. I think
Super
we
cheap.
stayed there 2 nights.
Well, you guys planned it out to where you guys could all stay together.
Yeah, we searched the one up. It was in Amsterdam. My first time there. We were only there like less than 2 days, and it was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man, like there's like canals that go through the city. But yeah, I went to this hostel, and like just the word, I was like, this sounds scary.
Yeah, it does. I accidentally stayed at a hostel one time.
An accident.
An accident, yeah.
Where was this at?
This was in Miami.
Okay,
This is in Miami on South Beach. And it was,
that sounds way more scary.
well, I didn't actually stay there. I paid for the whole hotel or the whole hostel, checked in the morning, and then it was time for me to check in. And I got my key, went up to my room, slid my key in the thing, opened up the door, and there's a dude. All you could, because it's 2 bunk beds, all you could see is a dude's feet hanging off the bed, and like he's sleeping in the bed, so his feet are just dangling off while he's sleeping, and his shoes are sitting like down below it. And I'm like, and I had a couple of my friends with me. I'm like, I think we got the wrong room, and so I just closed the door, and then they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, there's somebody in there, and they're like, no way. I'm like, I think we got the wrong key. I think, like, I don't know why that door opened up for this key, but I think we got the wrong room. And then, yeah, come to find out, it ended up being a hostel. Like, and we just went down and we got our money back and went and found somewhere else. But it was a Saturday in Miami.
Wow.
So it was like impossible to get. Saturday at 5 o'clock in Miami. So it was like impossible to get a
Good
room.
luck.
Yeah, it was impossible. Like we were calling people, they were just like laughing at us. Like, dude, no way you're gonna get a room.
Dude, go find a hostel.
Well, I thought we were gonna have to go back because I thought that was all we were
You
gonna
just
need.
got your money back, and you're like, hey,
Actually,
give
we're
this
gonna
back
need
to
that.
you?
We're gonna need that room.
is that guy still in there? We'd love to sleep next to him.
Yeah, he looked like a fine gentleman. No, we ended up going to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 30 minutes north, and it was a nice place. Had a nice. If I was planning it, I have nothing against it. I would certainly do it, but it would be something that I would have to do for the experience.
Yeah.
Like the guy did in that travel vlog. Like that, I would do that just because I think it sounds fun.
You'd probably like be surprised because I imagine it's not like. I imagine it's more people that are like you, just doing it for an experience, or like they're just traveling around. Like you probably meet some cool people.
Oh yeah, I actually what I've heard about hostels is that I think it's more for the experience because you're forced to be in a room with other people, so you're going to talk to them.
Sleeping.
Yeah. I mean, this place actually had all kinds of stuff. Like they had a whole courtyard. You could go out and hang out. It was a cool place. But
Ours had like a mini library, and then it had like a coffee shop.
Cool.
And then, like a little lounge as well. It was a cool place.
yeah, I think ours had that too, and it even had like a little mini bar in it too.
Nice.
You go buy some drinks. Like it had like a courtyard. You could go hang out in the courtyard.
Well, since you said something about drinks, 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on the cable again.
So you have your own drink. This is your guys' own drink.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that actually.
Okay.
But we can get. I have that too. Hold on.
A good time to bring it up.
I brought gifts
Okay.
for your set.
I love
and
it.
For you.
I love it.
Let's see. What do I grab first? This one's in a bag in case it's spilled. So I saw you have some bottles over here. I brought you a partially drank bottle of Old Granddad
Okay.
that I won for making a putt at a charity disc golf event.
How cool.
But we've had like some of it, and then I was like, you know what? The guy that like owned the liquor store that like donated it said it was like the most affordable but highest sought after bottle
How cool, man.
in the store. And so I'm like,
That's a cool bottle.
I think it would have a good place over here.
On my table. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Let's see. We got more gifts. We'll just do it while we're
Okay.
here. I also saw that you had books.
Are we going to try these?
Well, I'm actually not doing caffeine or alcohol for 30 days. I'm on day
Okay.
22.
Cool.
But you are more than welcome to try it.
No. I'm going to join in the spirit of the
Okay. I saw you had books over here.
Yeah.
I've read How to Win Friends and
influence people.
yeah, I read that one before.
How long ago?
It was like a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Yeah. Did you
Probably
like
read
it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't finished it.
No?
Uh-uh.
I liked it a lot. The stories in there are so good.
Yeah, it helps me a lot because nobody ever taught me anything about communication.
Yeah.
And so I struggled with it, and I didn't even know I was struggling with it, and I still do. That's why I'm like, I need to finish the book. Because
Well-
every time I read it, I learn something new.
It's so funny because like the title of it sounds like how to influence people, like it sounds like, I always tell people there's a difference. I don't say always tell people, but when it gets brought up, like there's a difference from like influence and then manipulation.
Yes.
And like, this isn't like how to manipulate people. It's how to influence and help. And like you said, communicate better.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like it's trying to teach you to be fake.
Right,
to win
exactly.
some friends.
Yeah.
It's actually like trying to point out all your personal flaws.
Yeah. I think it's a great book. I think everybody should read it just to like have an understanding about, I think it helped me think of things that I do that I should do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what I take from it. The first chapter is like, first thing they talk about is criticism.
Yeah.
You know, and like because everybody wants to just criticize everyone because they think that what they think is the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it really helps a lot. Like whenever you think you might be right, I think it just kind of helps correct a lot of people in those senses. Like, I don't know. I learned so much from it.
I like
Such
it.
an interesting book. And it's one that I have to go back and reread. 'Cause
Definitely.
I forget about.
I think I should reread it too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or even audiobook or something. Because once you read it,
Oh, I think
an audiobook.
I might have listened to it.
Yeah. I bought
Because I looked for it after I saw it on your table. I
Mm-hmm.
looked for it in my stack of books. I'm like, I couldn't find it. So maybe I have an audiobook of it. Maybe I'll listen to it. The next one is this. It's Winning
Okay.
by Tim S. Grover. There's actually a book.
This mine to have.
That's yours to have.
Okay.
For you. But I think you can read this one first. There's one before it called Relentless that he made. This is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's personal coach
Oh,
that
cool.
wrote this book.
Cool.
Yeah, so you might have seen him if you ever watched like Michael Jordan's documentary they did on him.
Never watched it. I'm not much of a TV guy.
I watched it. Yeah.
Tim Grover, though, huh?
Yeah.
That's their coach?
He was their like personal coach.
Wow.
Like personal trainer, but also I think like mentally. But yeah, Relentless was the first one, and then Winning was second. I don't have Relentless still. There's a guy who I think would be good for your podcast, actually. His name's Anthony Clavena. He owns Gateway Car Connection.
Tried too many times, man. He won't come on.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
Yeah, talk to
I
him.
don't know if I have any pull with that, but he's busy.
I've
for
reached
sure.
out to him multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all busy. We make time.
Let's see. I have
love
our
it.
drink right here.
Yeah.
A bunch of different packets.
I want to talk about it.
Okay, we can definitely talk about it, but these are all for you to try.
Okay, cool. Can I try it right now?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I always look at how much water you have in it.
Is it going to be watered down?
No, it'll be good. I would go with one of the skinnier packs.
Okay.
Is the water cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
What am I expecting out of one of these? We're going to pull them all out.
Let's see. You need to try. I would suggest our newest one. It's the one under the pink one that's white and red.
This is newest?
Cherry limeade. It came out like March 3rd.
Okay.
This is like what I call it is like our healthy energy drink. It does a whole lot more than just give you energy, but that's like the basic thing that I talk about because that's what.
Caffeine in them?
No caffeine.
No caffeine.
No caffeine. There's a thing called guaranine, which the guy who makes it, who's a lot smarter than me, been making products for like 25 years.
Yeah.
He says it's like caffeine's cousin, but it's not like I never feel like amped or jittery or anything I do if I have too much caffeine.
Yeah.
It's like a real slow and steady rise of energy.
Yeah.
And then it like slowly goes down. It's not like a jolt and then a crash or anything. But yeah, the cherry limeade, it's my newest favorite flavor. When we come out with new flavors, I've always been like, oh yeah, this one's good. I like it more. Ooh, this one's good. I like it more. But when cherry limeade came out, the level of it's good and I like it more was way bigger than the difference of the other ones.
The problem with flavors, though, because I do sell a lot of products that are flavor-based at
Yeah, I've
at
seen
my gym.
you have a gym. Yeah.
Yeah, and at first I was giving out my personal preference on flavor.
Okay.
And like I'm a big pineapple guy. I like pineapple.
Oh, I don't have our pineapple one.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
It's pina colada.
This is just an example of why I have problems with flavors now and giving my opinion on them.
1 second. Let me show that. I brought a 360 camera,
Oh, cool.
but it's not for you.
That's fine.
But we can take a picture of your room if you want.
Let's do it.
360 photo after we're done.
Yeah, it'd be cool to share on the socials.
So that's my bag of gifts for you.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Dude, I love the book. I'll definitely read it. any type of alcohol will get drank on this podcast.
Okay, cool.
It will get drank on the podcast.
Feel free to share it around.
And I'm glad you brought some of these too, because I have been, I've been paying attention to you a little bit more now that I invite you on, and I seen you guys. You've been advertising this. I'm
Yeah.
like, I hope he brings that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't write nothing on this podcast is scripted. Like I don't write no
Yeah,
notes.
that's the first thing you said. You're like, it's not live and it's not scripted. I'm like, sweet.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember saying that,
conversation.
but yeah, I try to. Some people just freak out because they think I'm going to interrogate them and I'm going to ask them something that they might not know. I'm like, no, dude, I want to bring people on and share their stories because I think there's so many people with fascinating stories, and personally, the stories, a lot of people's stories motivate me. And like your vlogs, I seen you doing vlogs. I'm like, that's so cool because I want to be able to do that. And I'm a doer, and so I like to be able to ask people questions just to help me get some information on, because I think it helps better me.
Oh, yeah.
When I get to hear other people's story, I'm like, well, yeah, he did it this way, and I really like that. I think I'm just like taking all these people's information and just merging them all.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like putting them out in my own thing.
Molding into something that you
Yeah,
want to do
there's
with it.
a book called Steal Like an Artist that they talk about.
Oh, you have a
that.
bunch of books.
Yeah, oh yeah. Any book that anyone suggests, I usually try to grab, and especially if I hear about it multiple times.
So our CEO, this will all come together, of this company for Taka. He's been making products for like 27 years for multiple companies in like different spaces. Done like billions of dollars in sales with his products for those companies. And he always, every year we have we have a training like in Dallas that we go to every year. And then like the first week of every year when we have our Zoom that everybody can be on, he always suggests everyone to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
That's crazy.
And How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then there's one more he recommends, but those 2 are both on the list.
Yeah.
And how I've heard about him.
That it's crazy you say that, because the amount of highly successful people I've met now that keep suggesting 7 Habits of Extremely Successful People is starting to grow.
Yeah, it's number 1. It's the first thing he always says. And he'll just like throw it out there when
Damn
we
it.
have like...
I gotta read it now, man.
You haven't read it?
I haven't read it.
Me neither.
Dude, I'm not like
I think I bought it. I think it's in my book collection on my phone, and I didn't read it.
yeah, I'm a doer, so I'm always out doing a lot of things. I learn, and I have to learn the hard way a lot of times. Like I have to okay, so they tell me how to do this, and now I'm going out and implementing, but I'm working all the bugs out of it. And so it takes me a while to be like, okay, I need to come back to that. And I stay busy. So like right now I'm doing a podcast, which I could be reading a book, but I usually keep myself pretty busy. And so like, that's why I like long, like flights, long, like anything where I have to do something where I'm like forced to just sit and just all I can do is read a book.
Well, like having yourself do that, like maybe just before bed, like 10 minutes. Maybe don't even worry about finishing a chapter, like however you get in 10 minutes.
One of my goals was 10 pages a night.
There you go.
That was one of my goals. I haven't done it yet, though. I don't know. I need to. My time right before bed is is one of my most important times. Look, I got a notification for our podcast. We got started a little early.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's like my time to myself, and I really like cherish it. But yeah, I should.
I tried doing it before bed, but
Reading a book hypes me up.
Exactly. I couldn't sleep. I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta stop reading books at night. I started in the morning. Whenever I would read, I haven't read a bunch lately, but
Yeah.
whenever I was reading more, it was like, oh no, I got to do this in the morning.
I kind of want to do blueberry lemonade. Sorry to.
That's so funny.
I'm a blueberry guy.
Go for it. I made this little like pack last week when you told me I was going to be on. I was like, oh, I got to bring some of this. I got to bring them this book because I had it on my TV. And then I didn't have blueberry lemonade. And then I opened this bag and there was one in there. It's the only one in my whole house. It's blueberry lemonade. I'm like,
Really?
yes, found one.
Cool. I'm glad you brought it. I'm a blueberry guy.
Oh, I think you can rip them off like sideways.
Oh, well, whatever.
You do.
They are easy to rip.
I just didn't want you to spill it. You're fine.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
If it doesn't mix up right away, it doesn't like to mix up in like super cold water. I don't know if that's how like all powdered drinks are or anything, but you can just shake it up, let it sit.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
You're like, I saw your powder tubs up there. You know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and dude, a lot of times, for me, I would have brought a shaker. I didn't even think about it. I could have brought a shaker down, put it in it.
Water bottle works.
Yeah, it'll work. Well, it's kind of what they're designed for, right?
I think so.
If you guys are just listening right now, you guys are probably a little confused, like, what the hell are they talking about? So James, they have it. They're what are these considered? They're like powdered energy drinks.
Yeah.
Not even
so.
right.
Healthy energy drinks. It's like a nutritional drink.
Okay.
A functional beverage.
Yeah, not packed with, but they're in like these skinny, sleek packages, and they're like designed for
I get it
water
for the people that
bottles.
listen and they can't see right now.
Yeah. Because
It's like-
some people, I know some people literally listen like on their way to work.
Okay,
or they're
good.
listening while they're working.
Cool.
And so like they're just they can't.
I hope you all are having a great day at work right now.
Yeah.
Or driving in your car. Be safe.
Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. My goodness, you guys are sitting here listening to my podcast, and who knows what you guys are going through. I hope it makes your day better. I do hope it makes your day better. But if you guys want to make my day better, you guys could like and subscribe to this podcast right now.
Heck yeah.
I would appreciate that. So let's go back to this. I'm going to give this a try. It looks like it mixed up good. But I want to. Well, you want to talk about? Is it Taka?
Taka, yeah.
You want to talk about Taka, or you want to talk about? You want to finish your journey through Japan?
Oh, the circus. We go back.
Yeah. What we can do either one.
Yeah, we'll go back to it because it kind of flows into it.
Hmm?
First sip ever, blueberry lemonade. It's our second flavor we ever came out with.
It's pretty good.
You like it?
It wasn't clumpy at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it wasn't clumpy at all. I will say, definitely taste the lemonade in it.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not a sipper kind of guy.
Chug it.
I'm usually slam. I'm not going to chug it right now because I have to pee on the podcast. But yeah, usually when I make like I'm just water.
Yeah.
Usually just strict water. Here lately I've been drinking some primes. Just
You
'cause
like
I
'em?
have 'em. What?
The primes?
Yeah, I do like
I
them.
haven't had one yet.
Oh, you want to try one?
Not right now.
Okay, that's fine. I like them. I was never a Gatorade guy.
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
it was almost like there were too much sugar in them, and it almost messed with my throat.
Do you do like the prime, like the hydration ones or their new energy ones?
No, just the hydration.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have their energy drink ones yet.
I haven't had one yet. Either of them.
Neither of them. They're good because it's not Powerade and Gatorade was like a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
and you could taste it.
And
like,
the
when you're
dyes.
drinking. Yeah, this is. It's just I don't know. It's just so much better. It's just smoother.
When I try one, which flavor should I start with?
Well, okay, so this is what I was talking about with flavors.
Oh yeah.
So one time at my gym, early days of the gym, someone's like, "Well, what flavor would you recommend?" And I'm a big pineapple guy, so I recommended pineapple. And it was a tub of pre-workout, so it was powdered pre-workout, and I think it was $35 for a tub, but they took it home that night, came back the next day, and they're like, "Hey, can I give this back and swap it out for another one?" I was like, "Is there something wrong with it?" They're like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with it," but they're like, "I just absolutely hate pineapple." And I'm like, "Well, why did you buy pineapple then? Like, why'd you?" And then that's when I realized when it comes down to a flavor, it's preference.
Yeah.
It's all opinion based. And so nowadays I try to figure out, well, what are you buying this product for? If it's a protein, I'm like, well, what kind of flavors do you like? And so I try to just help course them into which direction they might like. Because I have like strawberry and banana flavored proteins, but then also have just chocolate and vanilla. And I just try to help, like, what do you like this flavor? Do you like this flavor? Is there a flavor you prefer? And then usually if they're like, yeah, I really like blueberries, then I'm like, okay, then I got one for you, or whatever. But I feel like the flavor recommendation thing's tough.
Yeah.
I like the blue raspberry though.
Okay. I'm gonna start with that one then.
Okay. Yeah. But it's just preference. There's a green lime in there too. That's a pretty new one. It's pretty good. It's a good flavor.
I'm definitely starting with blue raspberry.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's go. Well, you're in Japan.
All right, in Japan.
You said, did you go to Japan twice?
Yeah, so I went for 5 months, and then it was a year and a half later I got the call to go again, but it was just going to be for 6 weeks. Like I signed a contract that was I would train at their headquarters in Montreal for a week, and then a week back home, and then I would go straight to Japan. Went there, and I had so much fun. Like just the beginning of like experiencing that company because it's a huge company.
Back to Universal though.
No, this is back to Cirque du Soleil. So we're in like a big tent. Or you want
Okay.
me to go back?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so this is like the second time I was in Japan.
Oh, okay. So you went to Japan 2 different times, but they were 2 different companies too.
2 different companies, yeah.
I see.
Universal for 5 months, and then
I can't even say the name of that company.
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque
Cirque
Du
du
Soleil.
Soleil.
It's French.
Cirque du Soleil.
Circus of the Sun.
Circus of the Sun. Yeah, I could say that. It's fair.
There you go.
But yeah, so you went back a second time with them.
Yep. Second time was with them. Was only supposed to be there 6 weeks. Turned into be 8 months.
Oh, cool.
So.
And you liked that though?
Yeah.
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 Everyone stay though? Like it wasn't an option? Or was it like something like they're like, well, anybody that wants to stay, we have an option to stay?
For me, it was different because I was only supposed to be there to replace this guy for a while because he was injured. Everybody else is like on year-long contracts. They have their part in the show. Like they're kind of in it. They don't have to be after their contract is up, but like, I mean, it's kind of some people's like dream job in like the gymnastics and circus world. It was mine. And I definitely found that out when I got there.
Like that was a goal of yours to work for this company?
Yeah. They used to come to competitions to recruit people.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool.
when I got the call, I felt like I made it.
Yeah. Well, I would say it was very cool. Like looking at the stuff, like it is.
Yeah, it was awesome.
cool
I got
gig.
to like dress up as a cricket, put makeup on, jump on trampolines, and call it my job.
Yeah. Wow. So that's what you were. You were.
I was a cricket. Well, I was
cool,
like,
man.
I got there and they're like, so we're crickets, and I was like, I'm pretty sure crickets are brown, aren't we grasshoppers? And the guy's like, yeah, don't say that ever again. Shh. But I don't know the difference either.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the difference. I wouldn't know no different. So then what happened? Why'd you quit doing it if it was a dream job?
Well, I was there. We're in the big top, and then we recreated it for Arena, and we did like a U.S. tour. And then I got a job offer to manage a pet company that was opening up in Sullivan. And I was like, that's awesome because I have a dog and I've done some training with him. And so I'm like working with dogs. I'd be home because I was gone like 10 weeks at a time in the circus. So I'd go out, I'd be gone for 10 weeks. I'd come home for 2 weeks and then do that all over again. So for a full year, I was only home like 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had my girlfriend at the time, wife now. We had bought a house like right when we started the arena tour in like 2016. Wanted to start a family. And that was like a goal of ours. And so I was like, I'm not going to have a kid at home or try and bring one on the road and do all this because we have horses at our house and she wants to be home. So I was like, it's kind of time to start looking for something to do back home.
Sure.
And so a buddy of mine and his wife opened up the business. I was the manager and I didn't enjoy working there. It wasn't like the people at all. Like we're friends and it was fine. But like the job itself, like I was there like 10, 11-hour days, like opening it and closing it, going in on the weekends, like a couple hours in and out. And so like I came home, I didn't really enjoy what I was doing like I did before, but I also wasn't like ever home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
You're still working all the time.
yeah. And that's not what like
Well, it seems like such a different pace for like who you were.
yeah, exactly.
You know, it sounds like you were really passionate. What is it considered? Like, what you were doing? What is it considered?
I don't know what you mean.
Like you were not. It's not just jumping on trampolines. There's a name.
I was an
for it.
artist, I guess you would
Okay.
say, or a performer. Performer
Okay.
would be the best thing to
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. better.
Performer.
Performer.
Yeah.
It seemed like you loved being a performer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you made this big because it just doesn't seem like something James would do at all.
Yeah.
The story.
It was kind of just like a new opportunity, something that I thought I might be able to transition to and still do like gig work, like what I talked about that I first started doing.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of it, but I didn't stay at the pet company for that long. It was a couple months, I think. And then it was like I switched from being like just like their manager, like on a salary, to like just working hourly for like 2 weeks. And I sat down and like she knew. She was like, "You're not happy." I'm like, "No." She's like, "I don't want to see you not happy." And like, it was just a good mutual thing, you know? So stopped working there, started doing some more gig work, went back to the circus, only this time was in Europe, but only there for like 2 months. And then moved back home and then found network marketing, which is our company's a network marketing company.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of what transitioned me into like learning about Taka. The company had just been started. And then I found out about the owner and who he was and what he's done. And so I just started doing more gig work so I could fly out one night, go do a show, and then fly home the next day. And I wasn't like gone forever.
Right.
And then start building like a business on the side with this to start making more money. And that's kind of how we transitioned from like the circus into what we do now with this.
Yeah. But you're still doing gig work.
Yeah.
Cool.
Still doing gig work. And it's fun. It's still a passion for me and I love it.
Yeah.
being in front of a crowd is awesome. And then also like being able, like I said, to just go and do a show and then come back real quick. It's easy.
It doesn't seem. I've only known you for a very short amount of time, but it doesn't seem like you could do anything but that.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, that's who you are. You gotta be doing that. Like you still make a lot of content too.
Yeah.
Like that's who you are. Like even though you're.
I try to this whole year, like 2023 so far, I feel like I haven't been putting out as much as I want to. But Stella's walking all over and she wants my phone all the time. No, I'm not making an excuse about that. But
Well, you're focused on some pretty big things too.
yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone could like knock you for focusing on your daughter and raising your daughter and stuff.
No, this is just internal.
Yeah, it's just something you're hard on yourself about.
Yeah.
It seems like you also like just always been focused on doing what makes you happy.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That is what I think everybody needs to do.
I totally agree. But I didn't figure that out until later in my life.
It comes and goes. How old are you now?
I'm 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah. Like how it seems like you were doing that young.
I think
Like, were you always like that? Like when you were, like you said, you had a friend suggest that you should start doing like the trampoline stuff in high school, and you're like, I'm gonna go do that, and you started doing that, and it seems like it just was very, like you did that, and then you went straight into the next thing, and straight into the next thing, and straight into the next thing. There was nothing, like, was there any times where you were like, was there any times where you like maybe did something where you're like, that wasn't who I was?
school, college.
You did go to college.
Yeah. So whenever I graduated high school, I went to Union University, otherwise known as East Central College.
Sure.
And I went there I started like general stuff the first semester. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse. That sounds good. I don't even remember what made me think to do that. It was just like, oh, I'm still competing and doing trampoline stuff, and I'm supposed to be going to school right now, so we'll just do it for that. Didn't really enjoy school in college. That's like a part of where I felt like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. So how long did you do it for?
I went to East Central for 3 semesters. The third, I only took 1 class and dropped out of it.
Yeah.
And then I went to Sanford Brown. It was up in Fenton for radiology, to be like the technologist, to like use the equipment, not like the main guy, right? That I actually enjoyed. The school was fun. There was only 1 class that I had to take that like didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But
like a gen ed class.
yeah. And then like the teachers were awesome, and like the work we're doing, I was like good at, and I didn't dread doing it. So that was all right. But when I was in there, it was when I got the call to go to California to jump on trampolines, and I'm like,
Peace.
see ya.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
I'm out.
Yeah. So, wow. What? That's probably kind of lucky. But you're
Yeah.
also pursuing it too. It wasn't
sure.
It wasn't just because I don't want to just skip over that.
No,
I don't want
like,
to skip over like.
the happiness thing, like you're following your dream type of thing. That's what I was like. I don't know if I was always looking out for it, but I always followed it when it came up. Like
Sounds like you're always looking for it. Even sounds like it.
I don't think I was like actively searching. A lot of people like,
But I think naturally, I think you were just like pushing towards happiness,
yeah,
pushing towards like the thing that makes you happy. I don't think a lot of people do that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think like I think there is people that feel that they're unhappy and they will go another direction solely because they think that other direction, that even though it's not making them happy, they think it's the right thing. You know how you say you were going to college to be a nurse and you're like, I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that, but they for whatever reason.
I think it's hard
Don't
for people to
let
get
them
out of their
hold.
comfort zone
Yeah.
and like go against the norm, and like that little voice in the back of their head that's telling them like, hey, what about this? They're like, they just keep it shut in a little box and
It's a
don't let it
silly
out.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a
Other
lot-
people's influence maybe, or what the world's telling them to do.
Yeah, because I think that's where the best thing I ever did was just start only focusing on, if it doesn't make me happy, I don't do it. That was like a big change for my life. Like that's where I started realizing like, I don't know, I just felt like I was happy all the time when I started doing that. And the only time I wasn't happy was when someone put their opinion in and I did it. And every time I knew it. I knew it was bad. Now it's just like I have like a barrier. And it's just like I don't even care what other people think. Like if I want to start a YouTube channel and make a podcast, I'm going to do that.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think that's something I always try to push on people is like chase happiness, chase your dreams. You know, you don't have to do your typical 9-to-5 job or whatever it is. whatever it is. So
I agree.
I like that about you for sure. I've definitely picked that up.
Well, thanks, man. It's great. We've met an hour ago. Not even.
Has it not been an hour?
No, it's. I feel like we've been talking forever, but I love it. I don't feel like I'm.
Yeah.
I said that like talking forever. Gosh, is this ever gonna end? No, that's not what I meant.
Well, no, there's some people, that's some people's fear too when they come on the podcast, is that they're like, well, what are we going to talk about for an hour and a half? I'm like, oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll always figure it
I
out.
watched Ross Blankenship's or some of it. I was like, dang, this is 2.5 hours. Sweet. I told my wife when I was leaving, I was like, man, I'm really excited. Kind of like why we've been talking. Like, this guy's doing something he really loves and like it's different. Like, I'm excited to be around more people like that. So first off, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, you're
like,
welcome.
That's
man.
awesome. But yeah, I was watching Ross's and I saw how long it was and I told her like, hey, I might be home late tonight. Like, you might need to make dinner. Stella might be asleep when I get home. Just letting you know. She's like, well, have fun.
Oh, cool. It helps to have someone like that.
She's the best.
Yeah, it
she's
definitely
so
helps to have
supportive
someone like
of
that.
everything I do.
Since day one?
Yeah, we met. Like, we knew each other. She moved to my high school her senior year, my junior year. We're like 10 months apart. We met. Like our first like date night was like in January, and I moved to Japan middle of February.
Wow. Wow. She must really like you then.
Yeah. I flew her over though. She was there for like 11 days the first time I went too. So she got to experience it.
What kind of flight is it?
It's long.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to look like on here. Do you fly across Europe to get there? Or do you go Russia? Like do you go to like Alaska and then fly over?
Like
that would make sense.
I
right?
did Japan to Alaska to St. Louis once, but I mainly went to like either Denver or somewhere in California and then flew.
Okay, California has the international
Yeah.
place to fly, but Alaska does too.
Yeah.
I've never been to another country other than Mexico and Canada.
I went to Mexico my first time last year in
Really?
July.
Just vacation?
It was actually an incentive trip through the company. So like it was something
cool.
we earned. So like we got like a free vacation there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cancun or where was it?
Playa del Carmen. So like you fly into Cancun and drive like 30 minutes.
Yeah, was it nice?
Loved it.
Safe?
I felt safe.
Was it like a resort though?
Yeah.
It was like a whole all-inclusive resort?
Yeah. We went off the resort like one time.
Yeah. But you felt safe the whole time you were there?
Yeah.
See, that's what I did when I went to Mexico, and that's why I didn't like it, the all-inclusive stuff. I felt safe.
Yeah.
But I'm like an explorer. Like I want to go, I want to try like the food from the area. I want to see sights in the area. I don't want to be cooped up on a resort the whole time.
We might do that this year. I think we're going to go swim with dolphins is one of the things, which isn't on the resort. We have to go somewhere for that. But last year we had our baby. We didn't bring her with us.
Yeah.
But it was our first time like out of the house and just alone for 4 nights. And so we did nothing but relax.
Yeah, it was just nice just to kick it.
For sure.
Sure, and I think there's a lot of people that like to do the same thing. They want to go literally lay by the pool or lay on the beach, tan, and have drinks.
I had never experienced all-inclusive. So, like, we got there, and we were tired. I don't even know why we were so tired, but we, like, went to the hotel room and called room service and took a nap in the door, woke us up, and then we ate. I was like, this is the best. We've been here an hour and a half. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. It's just that is relaxing. Whenever you know you have no responsibility.
Yeah.
People can bring you food. You can go down and get food whenever you want.
It was great.
The problem I had too is tipping. 'Cause I'm a gracious tipper, and I don't like the thought you're not going to bring me something without me tipping you.
Right.
Like that's not going to happen, and I can't give someone $1. That seems so petty to me. In I don't know. They say $1 is worth more than $1. I don't believe that.
We brought $200 and $5 bills and gave them all out like the whole time.
Okay, so you give them $5 bills.
Yeah.
The whole time. That's respectable.
Yeah.
That's respectable. But I like to drink. I'd blow through $200 pretty quick.
Yeah.
Tips, I think so. Like you sit at the pool and people bringing you. Mm-hmm. You didn't go up and get them. Or a little mix of both.
A little mix of both. There was one guy when we were there. A friend of ours and her mom got there the day before us, and she sent us a picture of this button, like on their cabana. And they're like, hey, we tipped him $20, and he brought over this button. He said, anytime you need me, press the button. I tried doing Spanish accent, can't do it, I'm done. It's like, anytime you need me, press the button.
Yeah.
And so we're like, this is great.
You guys got a button?
Yeah.
For $20?
Yeah. And so he's like, just press the button, I'll come to you.
How cool. That is cool. Was it like, the one I went, was it an all adult or was it a...
No, you could have kids there.
Could have kids there? Yeah, that's how mine was too. I wish I wouldn't. I would not. Because when you're going on vacation and it's supposed to be relaxing, I don't want no kids running around.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of kids, and there wasn't like a lot of really young kids. But a lot of people in our company has family, and and the owners have a big family, so they want to make it like you can bring your kids if you want to.
Sure. I think some of them adult only ones get a little too crazy too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just went from I really like to drink $200 in tips and it's gonna be enough to
No,
this might be too much.
I'm saying like just the way people maybe dress and act.
Okay.
Not the drink. No, the drinking's all fine.
Gotcha.
Drink all you guys want, but yeah, I don't know. I think some of the stuff that might be going on at the resort might be not for me.
Not safe.
Just like an uncomfortable thing to be around. Maybe.
I gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you would go.
Yeah.
I feel like. But let's go back to the store.
Where are we at?
I don't know. No clue anymore.
This is great. This is how conversations should be, right?
Second time Japan. You went to Japan for the second. Oh no.
Came home, did the pet company,
Yes.
went back to the circus, came home, started our business, and then do gig work.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the company then.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
So you seems like you really like the guy that started it. Is that kind of what influenced you to get into it?
It was a big part of it because the first thing that I heard about him was that he had made all these products for a bunch of companies, but what they would do is like come back to him and be like, hey, you know the active ingredient, like the thing that makes our product work? They would always be like, how can we like cut that down a bit but keep it on the label still so they can make more money? And he wasn't about that. Like he made it because he wanted to do what it was intended to do.
Yeah.
And so like integrity was there right away. Super nice guy. We went to like the pre-launch event. Hibiscus was the first and only flavor when we started, and they had every raw ingredient like in powder form at its own booth in this like conference area. So like everything that's in it was at its own booth, and you got like these little pictures, and you could try it like as a powder by themselves.
Oh, cool.
And so I was like, this is awesome. Like he has made so many contacts throughout his life. And so everything gets like shipped from the farms that they grow on all around and right to Dallas. So there's like no middleman, and we know like where the ingredients are coming from and who's making them.
What'd you say the ingredient is that's like caffeine, but it's like it's
guarana seed extract. So
Okay.
guaranine is what it's called.
Okay.
I don't know a whole lot about like
Sure.
ingredients. And like a lot of things I learned just like make a decision about, and I kind of forget about it.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but is it supposed to be more natural caffeine?
Yeah, because it's coming from like a seed, I'm assuming. It's guarana seed extract instead of like caffeine anhydrous, which is like put into like a lab.
Yeah.
But I don't
That's
know.
like what's in every energy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like its purest form, what that is, but also I think, I don't know what else
Well,
they do to it.
I do know that with pre-workouts at my gym, I have a couple pre-workout drinks there. Actually, I have 4 different kinds there. But there's one that is just a ton of caffeine anhydrous, and it's just a ton of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you guys want just a ton of energy really quick to go hit a PR, this is probably going to be the one for you.
Right.
But I also have another one that has like a coffee extract and they call it tea cream, and it's like supposed to be like the caffeine that's extracted from tea.
Okay.
And they have some of that style caffeine in it, and I always, from what I understand of it, it's supposed to be like a longer lasting.
Yeah, so that's what this is. It's like slower to like, it's not like a spike and then it
Yeah,
drops.
which is what caffeine anhydrous is.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of caffeine, and it's sure you're going to get a bunch of energy quick.
Right.
But you're going to crash on it.
Right.
That's how energy drinks are. All right. So and packed with sugar. So, but yeah, that's how, like a lot of people don't like energy drinks for that reason.
Yeah.
And so that's where like something like this, and I tell them like, try this other stuff.
Yeah.
If you're looking just for some energy for your day, this is the one to go to. So
And I know
try
some
to
people don't want to like be like they have to work out at night, but they don't want to be wired when they go home. They want to be able to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's like something that this is good for too.
Do you know like what like a roughly amount of caffeine it's equal to?
Like 60 milligrams, like a cup of
Okay.
coffee.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad at all.
No,
not bad at all.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And there's people that come like they'll ask me like, I'm sensitive to caffeine. I can't have it. There's only been one person who like felt jittery after drinking it out of like 4 years now. A lot of people that are like sensitive to caffeine have drank this and been fine, and they
Yeah. But no, 60s.
yeah.
That's I think a soda
You could trip
can.
over that, maybe.
Yeah, it's not much at all.
Right.
Not bad. I mean, it's enough to get you going in the morning, but it's not gonna it's not gonna blow nothing up.
Right.
Because there's I think a can of Pepsi has probably roughly 50
Okay.
in it. I would say or even a bottle of. Well, it's just I think Red Bull actually has.
Yeah, the small ones.
They have 80.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little less than a Red Bull,
Right.
but probably just right at a can of Pepsi or probably a little more.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Not that
there.
like caffeine's bad for you. Like you shouldn't drink it. That's not why I have this. But some people just don't want it.
Sure. Well, as long as it's to a controlled level.
Right.
Dude, I know some people that drink 1,000 milligrams a day. Dude, it's rough. And I know because caffeine's one of those things.
But they need it.
Yeah, they think they need it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, once you hit a certain point, it's not doing much for you.
Like I said, I'm on day 22 of no caffeine, from coffee or anything, and I thought it was gonna be really hard. I was like, isn't this gonna suck for the first 9 days or something? But after day 2 of just consciously not choosing it, I was like, it's been kind of easy.
Yeah.
I'd say boring.
Yeah.
I wanted to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And also it's 22 days of no alcohol, but I'm not a big drinker anyways.
So it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you do a lot of challenges for yourself?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I do a lot of it.
I think that's I think that's what I would say I definitely do. I love it actually.
Yeah.
That's for the day in and day out. It actually is part of what makes me happy.
Okay.
Is to challenge myself and just be able to see what I can mentally overcome. See if I can challenge myself and to see if I am addicted to it. Because there's a lot like right now I'm doing something where I have to have my cell phone. I post ads to my gym every day. I post content to social media every day, or
Gotcha.
a lot of times. So I don't want to take my phone completely away, but I told myself that after a certain amount of time, after 6 o'clock every day, I want to be done
Cool.
with social media. Completely done with social media. I mean, if I could send a text back to someone, well, that's the only reason I'm ever on my cell phone at night. And so that's one that everyone always says they're not addicted to, but they are addicted to. If you check the screen times on a lot of people's phone, it is crazy high. And if you looked at what it was, it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok,
Right.
things like that. It's not emails. It's not text messages. It's Snapchat.
Yeah,
it's something
yeah.
like that. So that was something to me. I was like, I want to see if I can just put it down and actually kick it. And it's funny because there's some times where I'll just be in a boring situation and I click the Facebook app and I pop it open. And it's after 6 o'clock and I'll catch myself and I'm like, whoa, put that down. You do have a problem with it. And so that's something that I like to be able to do myself. I think a lot of people always say Pepsi was a hard one, or not Pepsi, but soda was a hard one to kick. That was my easiest one.
Yeah.
My easiest challenge. I would say that and fast food too. I kicked fast food a long time ago. I mean, I'll
Nice.
eat it now but I mean,
On occasion.
yeah, I'm talking I eat fast food maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
No, never.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and every time I do it, I hate it. I'll get Taco Bell, and I'll go out and I'll have a couple of drinks, and I'll be like, "We should get Taco Bell." And then every time, this stuff sucks. It's not good. I don't know how people eat it every single day. And there was a time in my life where I did eat. I remember just going to McDonald's a couple times a week,
Yeah.
getting a McChicken and fries, just because it was fast, it was cheap, it was easy.
I get it.
Are they still $1? Do you know if you can get a McChicken for $1? Do they have a $1 menu still?
They definitely have the dollar menu still.
They do still have a $1
I
menu.
think they have $1 or $2 and a $3 menu still.
Wow. They definitely didn't have a two. Yeah, they definitely didn't have that back.
Wife and I went and got chicken nuggets one night. We're like, we haven't had chicken nuggets in forever.
Yeah.
And they were like, she's like, you better get your own fries. This is how I know this. There's a $3 basket of fries. That's how I know there's the different dollar
At
menus.
McDonald's?
Yep.
$3 basket of fries. What is that considered? Like a large fry?
I don't know.
Is it still the
You know, like what nachos would come in when you're at a game or
They
something?
give you something like that?
Yeah, it's like a tray, a basket.
Wow. And you guys got chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Dude, screw them chicken nuggets, dude. Those things are disgusting. I remember they did slap with some barbecue sauce back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore. Now I'm just too conscious of what I'm actually eating, I feel like. I mean, I still eat crap. I enjoy crap, though.
Yeah.
I enjoy stuff like pizza.
Pizza's good.
Yeah, pizza's good.
Is there a favorite pizza spot?
Oh, dude, you know what? I don't know. Oh, yeah, actually. You ever been to Dave's Pizza in Wings and Lynn?
Mm-mm.
You need to go there sometime. Yeah? It's kind of off the beaten path probably from where you're at, but I would say best wings and pizza all
Wow.
around. Yeah.
Bold statement.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I will go out of my way for good food.
Okay.
Like I will drive out of my way. That's something that I'm big on. Anytime I'm going on a trip, I'm looking for good food. That's the one thing I want. Like if I go on vacation to the beach, find me some crab legs because that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. It's hard to do
I love crab legs.
if you can get good ones.
Yeah.
When I just went to Naples, Florida.
Oh, you went to Naples?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Love it down there. But you know what? I think the food sucks.
Did it?
Yeah. Dude, I went to so many places that people were like, oh, you got to go here, you got to go here. There's this place I got the crab legs from. It's called Pinchers. It's on the water.
Okay.
It is a seafood and crab place. The place is called Pinchers. And they were like Walmart crab legs.
Oh,
Not
like
even
soft. They wouldn't snap.
And like you had to, because like good crab legs, you can just pop open and break and then pull the meat out in one chunk.
Right.
Cheap ones, you got to like use a fork and like split all the way down it. And then you have to like open it up, but the meat's like falling apart in it. And they were hollow too. Like you would open it up and it'd be a little bit of crab meat and it was hard to get it out. It was terrible, man. Terrible. I paid $60, $70 for crab legs and they weren't good at all.
I remember, I don't know, like 10 years ago, maybe less than that, at the casinos in St. Louis. They would have like a buffet and one night would be all you can eat crab legs.
Yeah? Were they good though?
I don't remember them being bad.
Yeah.
We went back.
Best crab legs I ever had was in Miami.
Miami?
Yeah. And it was way inland it was like a strip mall. Mm-hmm. Just some random bar. I went on my last night there was on a Thursday. My last like full night was on a Thursday. And I went in there and we were just looking for like a decent place to eat. And they had crab legs. Best crab legs I ever had in my life.
That's awesome.
Like big, meaty crab legs.
That's
like,
awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, it's always like the weird ones that you never expect.
Hole in the wall?
Yeah, it's just a hole in the wall it was a busy place. Super busy place. So you could tell they were good. I had something else there too. I think I had like a piece of pecan pie with ice cream on top or something. I remember it was a super good place though. And yeah, it's crazy how like these big name places that everybody suggests, I think they just get too busy and then they just know that people are coming because they get a good name.
Yeah.
And I think that's where their quality goes down because that's kind of how that Pinchers place seemed.
I also know I've given recommendations just because I've been somewhere. It's like you go somewhere new and you went to one place, you're like, oh, you got to go here. Just because I knew the name.
Oh, sure.
Maybe that's a part of it.
I would be the opposite way. I'd be like, don't go to Pinchers because that place sucks. Because they make it seem so cool. It's in a place called Ten City, which you said do you know Naples though?
No, I've seen pictures and I think it's where a friend of mine has a house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he has a house there, you should go visit him sometime.
Yeah.
I think it's actually.
This is just like sometimes they go their house.
Oh, well, then you should just be like, hey, man,
Yeah.
is that place in Naples?
I think
being
it's
used?
in Naples.
Yeah, you should do it if not. It's a cool town.
Yeah.
Because it's not party. Like Miami, I didn't like Miami. It's
Gotcha.
a party town. And it's just not for me. Like I just wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what Miami was all about because everybody talked about it, but it's not me. That's just not who I am. But Naples was much more chill. There's a lot of people there. I think it's like top 10 richest cities in the world.
Wow.
Or not in the world, United States.
Wow.
Ariel, you want to Google that real quick? Because I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that. But
Google
yeah.
was already ready. I love it.
Yeah, we keep it on deck. We keep it ready. But yeah, I liked it there. I would probably go back. I don't like visiting a place twice though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like to because I'm an adventurer. I like to see different places. I've never been to Texas. I want to go to Texas.
Never been to Texas?
No, I was going to go to Texas this past year and didn't go.
Where were we going to go?
That's why I didn't go because I didn't know for sure because I like to go in the wintertime. So I didn't know for sure. Like nobody is like, you need to go here. So I know a lot of people are big on Austin, but if I'm going to go, I want to go to the beach.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure it out. Houston's close to the beach.
Yeah. I was in Houston a couple weeks ago. Austin was fun.
Yeah.
I was...
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. It says, like, the property club. 10 richest cities in Florida.
Oh, one of the top 10 in Florida. Okay. Oh, okay. In Florida. Okay.
Count it.
Yeah, I was close. World, United States.
That's still a pretty high median household income, though.
Yeah. What's a medium?
118 grand.
118. Yeah, medium household income is 118,000 in Naples.
What's it?
That's pretty good.
What's it in St. Louis? Just like throw an example. Can we search that?
You're saying what's the medium household
Yeah.
income?
Just like have a comparison. I'm assuming a lot of the audience is around this area.
Yeah, I would say so.
So for now, is this your subscriber count?
Yeah, that's my subscriber count.
343?
343.
If you're listening to this, let's turn it to 344 right now. Hit the button. It's
Yeah.
free.
It is.
You know
free.
that?
It's absolutely free.
And there's free returns too if you decide to not.
Yeah, and you guys can also, if you guys just don't want the notifications all the time, you guys can just, it automatically doesn't put the notifications up, so you guys can subscribe and never watch it again.
Yeah.
But it would help me out, because once I get to 1,000, I can start making money.
There you go.
And I don't
What's
even,
your watch time hours? Because you need 4,000 of those in a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even focused on that,
Okay,
because I think
cool.
I can get that.
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause I pump out a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So it's, right now, it's just trying to get me up to 1,000
like it.
subscribers. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to share
One thing
this.
at a time.
I'm definitely going to share this.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. What is,
Okay, 70.
72,000? So about 50,000 less?
Yeah.
Wow. Some people are living rich. I'm below it. Actually, my it's kind of crazy, but my last year in 2022 I made $10,000
Like after your.
after everything. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm way below that, but hopefully we can make that change. If you guys subscribe, we might be able to make that change.
Yeah, the guy Anthony Clavena that I was talking to you about, we were chatting about taxes and stuff, and his mindset's kind of the same as mine on some of these things, and it's like, I want to pay more money to taxes, like, because that means I'm making more money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I am too. And I'm also the kind of guy that I'll spend money if I know I'm gonna have to pay taxes. Like I will purposely go out and like if it's for my gym and I know I'm gonna have to pay $10,000 in taxes, I'm just gonna go out and buy a bunch of gym equipment.
Invest into it.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I'm gonna have to just send the money off anyway.
No, it
so
makes
I might
sense.
as well just.
Have you seen the TikTok like, oh, it's a write-off?
Oh yeah, it's just a write-off. They're like,
Who do
where
you
does
send it
go?
to?
Yeah.
To the write-off people.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, that's a TV show. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, it's from a TV show?
Yeah, it's from a TV show. Yeah. But that's a funny clip. Because a lot of people really don't know.
Right.
Because that's what they think. When people are making money, they're like, well, those people can just write it all off. And it's like, well, what do you think these people are writing it off at? You know, like Trump. People just think that how he didn't have to pay any taxes like a few years back. And everyone's just like, well, yeah, he's got an unfair advantage. It's like, it's not like that at all. Like he's finding ways. He has people that work for him that get to write it off. Or anyone that's very wealthy that knows what they're doing.
Do you know who Alex Hormozi is?
Yeah, dude, I don't like that guy.
You don't like him?
No, I don't like
Oh,
him.
why not?
I don't know. Okay, I think I can break it down.
Oh, real quick. He's got a great video on like reducing your taxes and like why you shouldn't like dig into it like super deep and find a like bunch of people to like put your money here and here and here. And he's got a really good argument for it. So
Okay.
it might be something for you to watch.
I naturally did not like the guy.
Okay.
Just because of his demeanor came off in a weird way to me. And everybody keeps suggesting him. And at the end of the day, he was right down my alley of like who I like to watch. Like when I'm watching TikTok or watching YouTube, he's the kind of guy that I would follow. So I gave him a chance. I started following him for a while, and I even started watching his videos, like giving him a chance, like giving him way more of a chance than, for whatever reason, I'm like, I got to give this guy a chance. There's no, like, I have nothing against him. And kept watching him. He does make some good points in some of his videos, but I just don't think like me and him correlate. And I think a lot of it is because I only see videos about business from him. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, I think that, I don't know. Like,
And that's okay.
yeah, I like Gary Vee a lot because Gary Vee also talks about happiness a lot and like doing good things for other people too. Like he's not like his videos aren't just focused around like what you can do to make your business better. It's also about like making sure you're treating your employees right and giving back to other people and like how to treat other people in the community. And Gary Vee was one that taught me things like when someone hates on your video, like comments on your video, something dumb about something you did, he's like, that's coming from a nasty place in their heart.
Yeah.
And he's like, you shouldn't hit it back with hate.
It's how they feel about themselves about something.
Yeah. So he's like, you should just compliment that guy. And ever since I started doing that, I just feel a lot better about myself because naturally people just want to like attack back.
Yeah.
And that's not the way to do it.
Right.
And naturally that's what you want to do. But it was someone like Gary Vee who was like, no. You gotta, I remember one video in particular, he told me about someone commented and said something about his video, some nasty thing about his video. And this is on YouTube. He went to his YouTube channel, seen the guy was in the cars, went back and replied to the nasty comment someone left. And he's just like, hey man, he's like, I seen you got some like old cars on your channel. He's like, I think those things are really cool. We should keep up what you're doing. And just like the guy said something nasty, just hit him, like just flipped it, hit him with something kind. And then all of a sudden that guy was kind.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And he's like, and then he like corrected himself about the nasty thing he said to Gary and then went back on to say something nice. And that kind of like just taught me like, two wrongs don't make it right kind of thing. So that's kind of something I've always, I don't know.
I think I learned that from him too.
Really?
Yeah.
I think there's just more, you get more from those guys because those guys are doing it for more of the reasons I am. You know, it's more of the happiness thing, not the money thing. You know, when I'm telling someone to subscribe to me, I'm not doing it because I'm just looking for a paycheck so I can go out and buy a new car or buy a nicer house or buy something for myself. Like, I actually want to do it because I want to help impact people's lives in a positive way. But it's hard to do when I can't even grow a channel.
Yeah.
When nobody's subscribing to me, it doesn't matter if I'm trying to make this big impact on the world. It's hard to do when no one's paying attention.
Yeah. I think just to like take it from a different perspective, like the number's 343. There's 343 people that are paying attention to you already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like,
and if you're one of those 343, I do really appreciate you guys. I do really appreciate you guys.
I believe it. I wasn't coming to say like that you don't.
No, I know.
Putting focus into the people that do already, I think is like I said, just the way to flip that from like, oh, I'm not getting a bigger number for here, but there's already so many people. Like that's a big number.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's my graduating class.
Yeah.
You're impacting my graduating class. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't even know how many people graduated. Probably less.
I don't think my graduating class was that big.
Yeah, I think ours might have been 200. I don't know.
I do take the time. I don't do it a lot, but I do it like maybe every 6 months. I'll make a video and just be like, if you do anything to follow my podcast or you share my videos online or you like my post or anything you do, if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, I really appreciate that. And I try to make sure I tell people that.
Yeah.
You know, I try to and I do it for my business, like during my business, but I also do it for my YouTube and my TikTok, things like that. And I do. I try to make sure that all my content's not just asking people to subscribe, but I also feel like that is part of
Definitely.
business.
Definitely.
Because
some people just forget and they just don't do it.
or maybe don't realize
Yeah.
the importance behind it. Because especially in a small rural area, YouTube's not like a prominent thing. Like this, what I'm doing is very out of the norm for a lot of people.
Right.
And so they see me doing it, but they don't understand like maybe why I'm doing it, or even like ways that they can help, like give back. Because you like someone's Facebook page for their business, and it doesn't really do a whole lot. It does help grow it, but it's not like they actually get more money for it. It just makes their business look better. Like you can go leave a 5-star review on Google, but nobody's gonna get paid for that 5-star review. Now, yes, it does make their business look better, but like this right here, I can make money and I can actually make money off of subscribe. Not so much to subscribe, but
I get it.
It does correlate back to be able to get paid. And yeah, you know, I watch guys like Mr. Beast, who surely you know Mr. Beast. You don't know Mr. Beast?
Just joking.
Oh, I was like, no way. But there's some people that don't. But you know, he gets to give back.
Yeah. Huge. So much stuff.
Huge. And I picked up on that like very early on. And I have other reasons why I want to grow my channels. But a lot of it is to help other people and to be able to give back. I remember Jake Paul bought jet skis. And he went down to like when Hurricane Katrina, I think it was Hurricane Katrina, he bought jet skis and like they went out and they were actually like picking people up on the jet skis. Like he was driving around the flooded areas, and he was 18 years old this time. Like he was making millions of dollars at 18 years old, but the dude has this bad persona, and he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
He certainly does it on purpose, but he actually enjoys giving back and doing things for the community, and like the amount of Make-A-Wish kids he got to impact their lives. Like, that's cool. Like, that's cool that someone actually wants their dying wish is to be able to hang out with you for a day. To me, I'm like, that's so cool.
Do you have a big goal like that?
I don't think, like me, I'm like, I don't think anyone would ever want to just spend their dying day with me, but
Oh, not like that so much, but like, do you have a big goal like to help certain people or?
yeah, that's what a lot of my content I make is like trying to, because like me, I was like when I was growing up, I didn't even think I could own a business. Like, I didn't think that was like possible for me. I didn't, because I was just poor. No one in my family owned a business. And I thought like it was just out of the realm of possibility. And so a lot of my content is trying to like let any younger generation, even older generation that just hasn't realized it yet, that they can do it too. And like, I want to show people that I came from $1 in my bank account or no money in my bank account and found a way to make it happen. And so that's why I try to share a lot of stories.
Do you share that often? Like your personal story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Because almost in every podcast when I bring someone on, I usually talk about my stories too. I feel like it's maybe hard to get it out there. And I think I just have a trouble structuring my content too. And that's kind of something I want to talk to you about when you came on here, because it seemed, and that's like how you brought up your disc golf. You made a whole channel for it because it's a niche thing.
Right.
Same thing. Like I sometimes I worry that I'm doing too many things.
I've had that worry too.
Yeah.
Like with my like main like Instagram account. Just to, like, to help you feel like you're not alone in thinking like that. Like, I've thought about it too. I used to just kind of post like whatever on Instagram. And then I set up one of our trampolines we use for shows in my backyard, started making trampoline videos just for fun. And some like got views, like a couple did over 1 million, one did 4 million views.
Wow.
I went from like 1,000 something maybe followers to like 13 or 15,000. And then, but I didn't always just post trampoline. So like if a trampoline video hit, it was like, yeah, this is what we came here for. But then if I posted anything else, it was like dead. And I'm like, but doing trampoline stuff in my house I couldn't be consistent with it as easily. Sometimes this equipment wasn't there, the weather, this or that, or I just didn't want to do it, you know? And so like I went from like 15 to like 8, right? And over 2 years or something. And then I was like, try to post more like business stuff, because like I had learned some things and it was fun to share, and I liked making videos, and that was all right, but sort of forced in a way too. Like it was natural for me to like think about it, and then also natural to make a video, but putting them together and like coming up with like the content for it wasn't like something I was going to feel really sustained for. Especially once we had our daughter, because like I was doing it all in my house. I didn't want to wake him up. I couldn't do it at this time. I was doing this. It's kind of still learning to adapt for it and manage my time with it. But
So would you recommend like sticking to one niche? Do you think that's a better thing, or what do you not have an opinion on it, you think?
I think
Personally, the reason I haven't just stuck to one niche is just solely for happiness.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy making gaming videos. I'm happy making podcasts. I'm happy making the content I make for TikTok. Even if it sucks, I still like it.
Yeah.
Like it's the
there you go.
creative process of it all. I want to vlog. I want to get into it.
I want to vlog too
You have vlogged.
in the past, but I want to like do it again. But I never
back
like
to
every time I do a show, like I bring my camera, my microphone, and this or this or this, and I'm like, it's in my bag. It never even comes out of the bottom of my bag.
Have you ever used a gimbal?
Yeah, I have a Zine Crane 2, like a big.
Okay, cool. Gimbals are awesome.
Yeah.
I just picked one up I just started using it about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I picked it up about 3 months ago just because I heard everyone talking about it, grabbed it, didn't know how to use it, and I love it for content now because I can set it on myself and I can have it track me.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. And it's nice because I can just use my cell phone for it.
Right.
And it'll just track me around and it was, I don't
Which
mind.
one is it?
DJI?
Do you know what model? Is
Nope.
it the new one?
I have no clue.
I think it's the new one. I think I have the one before it because I have a DJI too.
Okay.
For my phone, and then I have like a one for my camera.
I didn't even know what I was looking for when I bought it.
This is great.
I literally, I knew everybody else was using them.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how good they were. And I watched some people that I follow that have been using them, and they kind of help stabilize the video and make it look better. And I'm like, and it's kind of one of those things where if I think it's going to make my life better, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy it. And I'll learn along the way. And
That's the problem I think people don't do. They think they have to know everything before they get started.
analysis paralysis.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You just do, and the more you do that, the more you learn. Like that's the better way to go. That is way better way to go. It's even if you put yourself in a bad situation, as long as you just jump in, it's like a sink or swim thing. If you just jump in the water and you don't know how to swim, you're gonna learn how to swim, or you're gonna drown. But most likely, you're gonna find a way to doggy paddle or something to get out of it. But it's everybody that's so scared to jump in the water because they're afraid of drowning that they just never jump in. And I did it one time, figured it out, did it another time, figured it out, and I just kept doing bigger and bigger things. And now it's kind of now I'm just fearless. And like now I'm like I can do anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I just kind of got that mindset, and I have failed. I failed a
You
lot
have
of
to.
times. Yeah, it's definitely, but I've been calloused now because, well, I got into investments not even young. I think my first investment was 27. I bought a rental property,
Sweet.
but those things break all the time, and you get bad tenants, and you get just everything under the sun that can break on a rental property, anything that is possible, because you got someone living in it, and this house is just falling apart. And so I think that really helped me realize that it's not all just sunshines and rainbows, and it's work. It is hard work, and personally, I think it was something great to start out in. Now, I don't think like rentals are not, in my opinion, are not the best investment. I think a business is the best investment, but they teach you a lot. And you're going to find out if you can sink or swim real quick in something like that. And it's not really like, it's a big investment, but it's also not a big investment. Because you can buy a house for $50,000, $100,000. It holds its value very, very well. So even if you got $100,000 in this thing, and it turns out you can't handle dealing with all the people, you can't handle fixing all the stuff all the time, maybe it's very expensive to have to fix the stuff all the time, you can sell it and get your money back. Pretty easy. Most people will buy a rental property or some type of real estate. It holds its value. And you can find out right there, like, is this kind of lifestyle for me or not? Yeah, I think things like that just have really taught me along the way.
Yeah. I think we want to build an Airbnb on our property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Short-term rental stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And that's very popular right now.
Yeah.
What about what would be the attraction for it? Is there?
There's a
it's
river
out of
kind of
town,
close
right?
by. Yeah, it's out of town. We have like a pretty nice view. We're not sure where we're gonna put it, but we also have a little pond. But also, Jess, my wife, was talking about we'd put a fence around it, and it'd probably be like an upsell for it. But like we'd put our horses down there, so you could wake up and there'd be horses like right in your front yard. Because some people they never see horses. You know what I mean? Just something like that. I want to build a disc golf course on our property, and so like that would be something I could use my like niche audience for that I'm building with my Instagram and YouTube that's for disc golf to bring people to like have a Airbnb for disc golfers, but also for anybody else too. But I could market it a different way.
Yeah.
Like I made a super silly commercial ad for Taka, making it the energy drink for disc golfers. You know what I mean? So just like kind of like moving in like the two different parts with that. Like it's for everybody. But then I was like, no. This is only for disc golfers.
Yeah. I think it would work.
Yeah.
Dude, Airbnb is blowing up.
It's been, yeah.
It's definitely something. Even have you seen the people stacking the crates on top of each
Yeah,
other?
like shipping container homes.
Yeah.
I think those are real cool.
I think they're cool too. And I think it would take some work to build them, but I think somebody could build a really cool place out of them.
Yeah.
a good price.
My wife's the handyman. Like in a traditional sense, I'm the woman in this relationship for sure.
Oh, really?
And I'll 100% admit it.
So she'll be doing a lot of the work?
Oh, yeah. She was working on our place across the street like when I left. She's a hard worker.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, hey, whatever.
Yeah. No, I'm
matter.
all for it.
Yeah, that's cool. So you guys would build one? You guys would build it?
We would hire some people to do some of the stuff, but she does like hardwood flooring and tile work. Like she can install anything anywhere. She did like our backsplash in our kitchen, our floors in our bathroom, the walls in our shower, like all that. She learned a little bit of electrical. She wouldn't do the whole house, but she could put some in. Drywall, mud, tape, and paint. She can do all that. I help her. I just listen. She tells me what to do.
Sure.
But we would build it from, I don't know. She's been looking up a lot of the ones that would just get like hauled in on a trailer, and we just finish the inside.
Oh yeah,
She likes those.
Yeah.
So we're not sure.
yeah. So this is like an early thought still.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think VRBO is actually.
I stayed in a VRBO once too.
I think it's good to have them on both.
Yeah.
But maybe have it like up priced on Airbnb and then have it at the actual price you want on VRBO, because I think people are starting. I think VRBO maybe has less fees.
I have a couple friends that do Airbnb and short-term rentals. Like one lives in Wisconsin, one lives here. I might talk to him actually about being on their podcast. You never know.
Yeah, you should. I would love to see someone in the Airbnb VRBO short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Because that's an atmosphere that I know nothing about, but I know it's huge.
Yeah, he does short-term rentals. They have a couple places that are like longer-term rentals, and they do stuff for travel nurses. There's like a whole site that's like Airbnb sort of, but for travel nurses.
Wow.
And then
'Cause that's huge now too.
yeah, it's real big. So I know that there's a lot that can get done with it. But it's kind of like what you said. If it's not your thing, it's not something you're going to want to do.
Right.
But I think my friend's learned a lot that I've just talked to him about stuff. Like how you're saying all this stuff breaks down, you get bad tenants and all these things. Like there's ways to mitigate it and figure out the best way to have applications for tenants before so that stuff doesn't happen. Finding the right people that would go do the work. And so his time there is so minimal at the actual spot.
Yeah, I think Airbnbs and VRBOs nicer because of the way they're set up.
Yeah.
Like people are staying there for a week at a time, usually maximum. And you also have cleaning fees that get added in. You got all these. Like, I think I just booked a place in Gatlinburg, and they had not just a cleaning fee, but they had a whole. I can't remember what they called it. They had a whole nother fee added into it too. It was like an extra $200. Wow. So they're getting those extra things because I think it was like $350 to clean the place. There's no way it costs $350 to go clean that place, because it not only you have to clean the places most of the time when you leave anyway.
Yeah.
Like the place has to be so nice, and in the contract, like when you're signing up for it, if there's anything broken or the place is left a mess, you get fined for it all, and your card's connected to it, and Airbnb just docks you right there.
Wow.
So I think that they're a little safer versus like a rental property, because you're not getting mail sent to an Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to your rental property and you have to try to get someone out that destroyed your property, you got to take them to court because they technically live in your house, and you can't just force them out of your house. So you got to take them to court. These guys, a lot of the times, don't have any money themselves. That's why they're like, if they're not paying you rent, they're not going to be able to pay for the past rent. They're not going to be able to pay for court. They're not going to be able to pay for any damages they've done.
Short-term rental sounds way better.
Yeah, I just think the way it, people save up money to go on a short-term rental.
Yeah.
And you pay it all in advance versus like a rental property. Yeah, you have to pay first. You have to pay for the rent at the beginning of the month. But once they're in there for 3 months, and then all of a sudden they don't have the money, then they just don't bring you the money, and then you're just kind of like, they come up with excuses every time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'll have it next week. Or I had a guy tell me he lost it on his roof one time.
Lost his money on his roof.
Yeah, he stuck on of his car, not his house. But I wouldn't be surprised if I got an excuse like that too, though, because I've seriously heard it all. I've heard, people lost their wallets, check get lost in the mail. Someone stole their wallet out of their car. I've heard it all. And every time it's just like, I just see it. It's like it's a pattern.
Yeah.
And I've had once or twice where literally someone did, like, the check got lost in the mail, but then I call them, they're like, oh, I don't know what happened, but I'll bring you a check tomorrow. And they bring it, and it never happens again. But then there's some people that's like, oh, every month, something. And then it gets 1 day, and then 2 days pass, and then the next month, 3 days passed. And yeah, most of the time it's an excuse. It's tough. I'm not trying to tell everyone that you shouldn't go buy. I think they're a good investment. I do make money on them every month, but I think a lot of people are buying them. Like, there's a lot of Grant Cardones. You know Grant Cardone?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that listen to him and follow him that they want to be these gurus for real estate, and they're not that good. A roof, if you had to replace a roof and it's $5,000, well, there goes all your profits for the year.
It seems like a cheap roof.
Yeah, it is a cheap roof. That's $5,000 if you do it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's $5,000 if you do it yourself. Yeah, you're right. Because I got a roof I got to replace right now, and it cost me $10,000.
Nice.
Yeah, they're tough. And that's, I mean, $10,000 if I don't have to do it myself. But if I have to pay someone to do it for 10, that's profits gone for a long time. That's multiple years.
Yeah.
I'm just out of profits. So I don't know. I just think they can be good, but they're tough.
Yeah.
Long term is tough. But I think short term would be cool. I think an Airbnb would be cool too. I think you could probably get to meet some cool people along the way too.
Yeah, I think the fun thing about them is like when you ask like what are you gonna have like special there, like a lot of them are experiences.
Yeah.
It's not just like a place to stay. Mm-hmm. It's like either themed. Like our friends in Wisconsin, they just did one by Lambeau Fields, and it's all Green Bay Packer themed. Not like
cool.
with like the logos and stuff, but the colors and everything. Mm-hmm. And so like making an experience for someone, it's not just like they're going to sleep in a house.
Yeah. And you want to do it around disc golf, or you want to do it around?
I don't know about the theme of the actual place, what we do with it. I don't think I would do it around disc golf because it would limit it. I would think I would just market it to disc golfers too, because if I had a course on the property, like that'd be cool. You can go play the course and stay in the place and barbecue by the pond or whatever, you know.
Sure.
But then also have the place inside be for anybody who'd want to come and just stay in a house in the woods.
I think that there's a pond on it, out in the country with a pond on it where they could fish. You guys provide some poles.
Oh yeah, or a little canoe. We're gonna have it down there.
Yeah, something like that, or kayaks maybe.
Yeah. Kayak, yeah,
Or
that'd
both
probably be
even.
better.
Or
Or the little
both even.
paddle boats you sit.
Yeah,
in.
that'd be a good idea. Something.
I'm doing for everybody that's listening. I'm doing the motion with my feet, but oh, they can see it on the. I look awkward. I'm gonna stop.
Well, some of them are literally driving down the road. They probably don't see it. But yeah, he was actually paddleboarding here. But I think it would work. I could see. I actually have a lot of family from St. Louis. I could see for sure doing that.
Yeah.
Because they go out and buy an RV, and they'll go park it in the front yard of my farm, just right in front of a house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
Camping.
they love it. They build a fire right in the front yard, and yeah, they sleep in the RV, and that for them, like that's all they need. And I could see someone. I mean, even I would like it.
Yeah.
And I live out of town, but I still think somewhere like just where you can go and get away for a while, and if you built it cabin style, for sure.
Yeah. I think
For sure.
that's one thing I keep telling her because she's sending me some of these that are just like they look super plain on the outside. I'm like, it doesn't have to be huge, but I want it to like invoke a feeling like when you see it on like a listing or something, and not just look like something flat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a cabin style, because I actually have looked into renting a cabin before,
Yeah.
just to go and just hang out for the weekend. Some of my friends, they go down to Branson, rent a cabin in Branson. And the one thing I didn't like about it was it was like a resort kind of thing, that there was like 10 cabins on the resort.
Gotcha.
And so it's like this, it's supposed to be this cabin feel, but I'm like, well, I want privacy.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it. I think they had a hot tub at it, which was cool, but also I don't want to have to worry about neighbors.
Yeah.
So like that's where like I think that to me that's part of the whole experience.
The place my wife and I, we were get married at, they have it's friends of ours. They have this beautiful property, and in like the middle of it, they have a cabin that they built, and it's just like a living room with a couch and then a bathroom, but like the kitchen, living room area is all like one space. You know what I mean? And then it's like a fold out bed and the couch. It's where we actually stayed like on our wedding night because we got married out on their property. But they called it the stabbing cabin. I'll let y'all figure that out. But
Yeah, I've
but
heard that before.
This would be a cool little spot.
Yeah,
Like one like this. I'll have to find a picture of it.
yeah, it would be cool to do something like that. I think you definitely got to have like a fire pit area.
Yeah.
Definitely a place for them to like do something with the water.
Yeah.
Like whether it's kayak or paddleboard or fish or something.
Well, we want a pavilion down by the pond for ourselves. So like a concrete slab and then like a pavilion and like a built-in grill.
Yeah.
And then probably just regular tables or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But that would be like, because we have enough space down there, we could put 2 or 3 on where they wouldn't see each other.
Yeah.
But that could be like the communal spot.
Sure.
If you wanted to like, oh, everyone that's renting the Airbnbs on this property for the weekend, like can go here and like.
Have a big disc golf thing there.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
It would be cool.
We have this really big hill though that sucks. Like you don't want to walk up it twice. And so we have to figure out a way around that.
Are you talking like if you were going down to the pond or lake?
To walk
to get
back
to it?
up it if you had to.
Would the cabin be up the hill?
I don't think so. I think we'd put it at the bottom.
So why would you have to go up the hill?
I'm just saying, like for disc golfers.
Oh, you're saying to put the disc off at the top. You couldn't put it down by the lake?
No, we'd want it on both. You have like elevation, different shot shapes, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'm nerding out about this.
So,
man.
okay, so disc golf can literally be all. I've never played disc golf.
You have to. I'll take
Never
you.
played. All right, I'm down to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I've because it's frisbees, right?
Yep.
But are they special frisbees?
Yeah, they're all different shapes. They all do kind of different things. Like, yeah.
I didn't realize there was so much to it. I seen a video of you the other day. I don't know what it was on, maybe Instagram. You took your dog to the park. You were playing disc golf.
Oh yeah.
And you had a backpack full.
Yeah.
Of it. Is there that many different disc golfs?
Yeah.
Like there are different. Are they considered frisbees?
Yeah, they're frisbees. Everyone just calls them discs.
Okay.
I think frisbee's like a shunned word,
Sure.
but I'll let you say it
I'm
today.
a noob.
No, there's different ones. There's like drivers and mid ranges, and then putters, kind of like regular golf. Like they're all just how they're shaped, how that makes them fly different. Like some will
Okay.
go completely straight. Some will right when you throw it, they turn left. Some will turn right. Some have more glide. Some don't glide as much.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Okay.
I'm feeling how you're feeling when I first heard about it.
Yeah,
Or-
no, it makes sense now though. It does make
Yeah.
sense now because that's every time I always see a lot of people play, it's always just driving by a park. I've never actually played disc golf, and so I always just see like the setup, like the chain, like the actual hole where it's at,
Right,
Like a
the
chain
basket.
thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a basket with a chain around it. Then you got to make it in, but I never realized. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
because you don't have a driver, so like the driver and the ball is basically all into one disc.
Yeah.
And you're
That's
doing
so
it
funny
combined.
because like some people don't think of that when they first are playing it or learning it, but like all down the road it comes to them like, oh, this is cool. Like you don't combine two things; it's all in one.
Yeah.
But you just thought about it right away.
Yeah, it was just the way
Maybe
you
it's
said.
just me.
It was the way you said. If you didn't explain that there's so many different discs and the way the discs are shaped or whatever, however it is, that's what makes them curve.
Yeah.
To me, that's like okay, that makes sense because the disc is obviously the ball,
Yep.
but also the different shape of it is also the club. So that makes sense to me.
And then the
That's-
angle
how
you throw
can-
it on,
Yeah,
just
dude, that
it's a lot, man.
I bet it is a lot.
It's so
How
much.
do you even get into something like that?
Man, I'm so happy I found it because like when I was in the circus, we had like 110 people on our tour from 19 different countries. And so it was like this big melting pot, all traveling together week by week, and it was like a big family, right? And then when I moved back home and was doing like my own thing and was only doing like gig work every now and then, like I was kind of alone a lot, you know?
Sure.
And then I saw some friends playing disc golf on their stories, and I had always like I had seen it before. I'm like, that looks cool, but like the thought went away just as soon as it came. But my buddy Derek was playing and posting a lot in his stories. I was like, I want to come play with you. He's like, we're going tomorrow. I'm like, I'm coming. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, can you bring disc for me?
Right.
And so we went and played in Sullivan. There's a 9-hole course. And then I was like, this is fun. And then we went and played St. Clair the same day. There's an 18-hole course. And I was like, this is awesome. I went home and ordered like a 3-pack off Amazon. And then I've been hooked ever since.
Is there like some really expensive brands for it?
Not too crazy.
Not like actual golf. Because you can
Yeah.
get crazy with clubs and golf.
With discs, like there's some that are like novelty, like they made them like in this year and it had this like player's stamp on it or something. They can go like for crazy money for like specific ones because they're limited or whatever. But nowadays, like you're paying between like $10 to $30 for one
Disc.
disc, maybe
you have
8 to
you have a
30.
backpack full of them.
Yeah, it's that happened over time. That wasn't like I just went to a store and like
Okay.
bought all of these.
I'm sure you could just buy a kit though, right?
Yeah, there's a couple companies, like mainly every big brand has their own like starter pack. There's a new company that's, I don't know how long they've been around, but they're like market themselves for beginners. And they have like really low priced,
Budget friendly.
Yeah, budget friendly starter sets.
What's a budget friendly starter set? Like what's something like that cost? Should we Google
think-
it?
Yeah, look up Divergent discs. This is the one that I've seen. I guess I can just pull my phone out.
Well, I'm kind of interested. It'd be nice to pull it up.
But
so I
yeah,
can see
Divergent, they have like some that are made for like beginner friendly discs that they'll help you throw farther. I don't know what their starter packs.
Is it DISC? Yeah. Disc.
I love that we're on the topic of disc golf. Anybody that's listening that like never heard of it, they're like, what are they talking about?
Oh, I think everybody's heard of it.
They already
I just
clicked
don't know.
off
If,
and subscribed. I'm just kidding.
no, I don't think so. I think I think it's actually pretty interesting. I think people.
Yeah, there you go. 2 discs start us at $16. A 3 disc one, $30. I think they have one that's like a bag and 8 discs for like $70 or something.
Oh yeah, no. I seen it on Amazon right here. I pulled up on my phone. Divergent disc 8 disc beginner set $74.99
There you go.
with a bag.
So that's less than $10 a disc with a bag.
Yeah, they're kind of cool too. They got some crazy designs on it. They got a 5 disc one for $34.99.
There you go.
It's very affordable. Very affordable. And I guess they're.
What does that mean? We just got a notification through the headphones.
What does that mean?
It just says how likely are you to recommend the Windows PC to a friend.
Oh, freaking PC. Looking for a review.
I'm a Mac guy.
Dude, I can't get into that.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not an Apple.
I can tell
or
with your
Mac guy.
phone.
Yeah, I've gone to Apple before. I think it was I don't know, I went Android years ago. Really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that like I can do everything like my phone or like my PC I can do. I can actually go into files and like look at programs and delete programs and stuff like that. And I like the freedom that I felt like I had with an Android. And when Android first came out, they had swipe texting before Apple. And I fell in love with swipe texting.
I jailbroke my phone back in the day, and I had swipe texting.
Just so you could swipe?
Yeah, it was that, and also to like have like different logos on whatever.
Sure.
But it was fun.
That was a big thing back in the day, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I used to
Jailbreak.
jailbreak people's phones for like $10.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it that easy?
I think I made $40. It was so easy.
Really?
When you first figured it out, like
mess them up though?
no, well, like some would, but if you did it the right way, like there was different ways to do it, but the one way I found out was like so safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got away from Apple.
Yeah.
Just never did fall in love.
Every time that you would like heart or like my message on text message, it sends me a text and it says, Ryan liked your message, and then would show me my message again. I'm like, this guy don't have
this peasant with an Android. It's so weird that
Maybe I won't go on his show.
I think they do it on purpose. I think Android does it on purpose. Just to
mess with us?
I
Yeah.
think just to piss Apple guys off. Because you can, when you heart mine, it just shows up as a heart.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. I think it does.
Oh, man. There's a video I sent
talk
to a
about
buddy who has
I wonder if anyone even knows what we're talking about.
Android versus Apple. Put it in the comments which one you like and why it's Apple.
Do what now?
You were like, I wonder if anyone knows what we're talking about. I was like, Android versus Apple. Put it in the comments which one you like more and why is it Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm not giving them a choice.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you a video about, this guy. Don't watch it now, but, we're friends on Facebook, right?
Yeah. That's how I reached out originally.
Was it?
Yeah, on
Was it
Facebook.
Instagram? Either way. I'm glad you reached out.
I think I reached out on I guess it was on Instagram. That's very unnormal for me.
Oh, yeah?
I don't like Instagram because for some reason I feel like it doesn't actually send the messages all the time.
Oh, yeah, there's like a primary, a general, and then like a request.
Yeah.
And then there's like a request in the requests.
It's
I'm like,
so weird. I don't get it, man. I don't freaking get it. Like when it asks me like where I want to send the messages, I'm like, why do I have an option? I guess it was Instagram. That's not like me at all though. Because for some reason I feel like I've reached out to people on Instagram a lot. And it's like they never even respond. It's like they never get it. And I don't want to double text. Like I don't want to send them a double message because then I feel like I'm pushy.
you do it so I used to have this thought process too, like with reaching out to people and like follow-ups, like for business stuff. And so when I don't get a text back, I have it as like a keyboard shortcut. And I just say, hey, I've learned not to assume that messages always go through on social media. And I definitely don't want to bother you. Did you happen to get my last message?
That's a great way to do it.
Bam.
That's a great way to do it. I definitely.
This is exactly how you're feeling, right?
Yeah. It's
Like, man, did it go through or not? Like, just tell them.
Yeah, and I think that's. Yeah, I think I will do that for sure. And sometimes I will. I think I probably have done that in the past. I know one time I sent a message and it wasn't showing up, So I sent that exact same message, basically, but I reworded it. So it made me look dumb because I thought it didn't send. And then after I sent it, the message I sent before it showed up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's going to think I'm insane.
Facebook's been doing that to me with replying to people's comments. Like, there would be like,
Oh, yeah.
6 comments, and then I'll reply to everybody. But one person's, like, I hit send and it doesn't send.
Yeah.
And I do it again, and then I do it again. Then all of a sudden I'm commented 3 times, 3 different sentences.
Yeah. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah.
Mine does it with like liking and hearting it and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I got to be a bug.
Yeah. Sometimes you do. So, and I do it a lot just because if someone shares my post, like one of my content I make or something, and they share it, I want to make sure I at least like it or heart it or something to show them that I appreciate they shared it.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it won't even show up. You know what Facebook does? They also don't show you who shared your stuff. It'll tell you that it'll say 8 people shared this, but it won't show you. Like I wish it would let you see, like you can see likes.
Sometimes it shows them in notifications, but it depends on how many people it does. Because like my mom shares a lot of my stuff. Love you, Mom. But it'll be like Barb Johnson and this many people, but it doesn't show the other people. It just shows like one. Yeah.
Why does it do that though?
I don't know.
Such a weird thing. You think they would let you see that kind of stuff?
Sometimes if you click on it, it'll show a list, but it doesn't show me everybody's.
No, a lot of times
Maybe you're not friends with them, and they shared it. Because in like stories, sometimes people will be like, it'll be like, this many people like your story plus 2 others at the bottom. It's like people that you're not friends with or whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's like that because there's sometimes I'll just be scrolling and it'll be like 4 people that I know shared my post. And it shows my post and then the 4 people that shared it. And then I'm able to go like view more and see who all shared it and I can like them all. But it doesn't give me an option. Like I just have to be randomly scrolling through Facebook and it pop up. It's weird.
I've been unfollowing a lot of people on Facebook lately.
Dude, I did a cleanse the other day.
I kept him as a friend, but I'm like, I don't want to see.
Oh, you unfollowed? No, I unfriended him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you do it? Why did you do it though?
Well, some of the people they still like my stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to unfriend you. You're still like my stuff. But like, I don't know. It's just stuff I don't care about seeing or it's negative or anything. Also, a lot of things when I'm scrolling on a feed, like lately I've been trying to like go and make sure I see certain people's stuff. But a lot of things, when I get into the scroll, it's like just things people have shared. It's hardly anyone's actual thing that they're putting out.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't doing that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people aren't actually using it. It's just sharing videos and sharing pictures. Nobody's actually making their own content and putting it out there. People aren't making posts anymore. They're just re-filtering everybody else's posts.
I like Instagram more for that purpose because it's a lot of more their own stuff, at least for who I'm following.
See, I don't want to get off that topic though, but I think for me, Instagram is it just seems like a lot of pointless pictures a lot of time.
Do you read the captions?
I do, but a lot of times I don't feel like they're genuine.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like a lot, and
maybe you haven't found your people on there that you want to follow.
I think so. And I am slowly getting more to that, but I'm also like with this podcast, I'm going to meet people that I really like. My Instagram is more geared to exactly who I'm like going towards in my life. Like a lot of people that I follow on there is just basically people that I follow. And so it is getting more to that point now where I actually see someone's post. I actually start liking it. It's actually useful stuff that I enjoy seeing. But yeah, I think that for the longest time, it was just random people that I maybe knew that I made an Instagram just to, like at one time I was really big in like cars and trucks and I still like them, but I was on there just, I was building a truck. I get on there, I join the truck page so I can go like get inspired by all these other trucks, try to build mine that certain way. And then along the way, just people I knew followed me and I followed them. And yeah, I just felt like it was kind of pointless for a while. But like on Facebook, I did a cleanse literally probably 2 weeks ago because it was to the point where I had over time, people add you and I'm perfect. I'll add anyone. It's not like that, but there's so many random people on my Facebook that I didn't even know who they were that maybe I had met one time 10 years ago. Or maybe you met them one time in high school. But if I seen them out in public, which I'll probably never see them out in public again, but even if I did, I don't even think they would say hi to me. And and they never shared anything. They never liked any of my posts. They never added no benefit to my page. I'm like, who is this person? Like, I have no clue. They haven't posted in 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, bye.
No, I get that too. There's sometimes I'll see people and I'm like, oh, I just blinked and like saw this, but it was like really close. Sorry if you're listening, you don't know what just happened. Anyway, I would see somebody and I'd click on their page, and then if I go to their profile picture and then like swipe 3 pictures by and not know who they were, I'm like, why are we friends on Facebook? How did we find each other?
And they're not liking your content or nothing like that.
No.
Then it's time to see you later.
Yeah, but like one thing I've learned is, how is this put? Like, social media is a marching parade. It's not a standing army. And so what I mean by that is, like, it's not like these people are always going to be right here, always seeing your stuff, always seeing your stuff. It's new people are coming in throughout, seeing different things. And I've made posts and it's like gotten like 9 likes and no comments. And I'm like, dang, I really like that one. I'm sure this happened to everybody who's wanting to do social media. And I was like, why did it flop? Like, why did no one see it? Why did this? There's ways you can turn insights on and see how many people saw it. And at first it was kind of discouraging because it was like, Facebook showed this to 327 people, 11 liked it, and my mom said, honey, are you coming over for dinner on it? You know what I mean? I'm like, what the heck, 300 people and that's it?
Yeah.
But then like I turned that off so I wouldn't look at it because it didn't help on Facebook for me specifically. Instagram helps more. But I would make a post about something. It would seem like it didn't do well at all. But that same day I saw 3 people and they all said something about it.
Yeah.
So it's like people, like if you're posting something, like if you're making content like you are, or somebody else that like they're wanting to attract people or they're wanting to gain an audience or do anything with social media, more people are watching than you know.
Oh yeah.
And most of them are just waiting to watch you stop doing it.
Yeah.
They're waiting to see you fail.
Yeah.
Because they're either not doing something or they think you're just in it for a short term and you're not going to go through with it. So if you stay consistent with it and just keep doing it and doing it, the right people are going to follow. The right people are going to come to you. The right people are going to comment and share it.
Yeah.
So,
or there's even the thing where, I've been saying it a lot, misery likes company. And I think a lot of people see you doing it and they don't want to see you doing it because they're not doing it. And they don't do it on purpose.
yeah.
But they're kind of just like, that's silly. That's a lot of times that's why they say what you're doing is dumb or silly or make fun of it. It's actually a form of jealousy. And a lot of times it's just like, since they're not doing it, they don't want you to be doing it. And that's what I've been saying a lot, like lately, is just misery likes company. And that's
I agree.
why it's like that. I don't pay attention to, I quit paying attention to like the likes and the views and stuff a long time ago. Now I do check the subscriber count.
Yeah.
That's just fun to me.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that keeps me up at night. If you guys aren't subscribed, I'll never hate you. I'll never I never like think bad on you. I called my friend out on the podcast a while back and he wasn't subscribed and I had no hard feelings for him. I'm you definitely need to, but it's not like the stuff doesn't matter to me. It is important if I want to grow. Like people can't just be watching and I'll never make it. If I don't ever get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, I'll never get to the point where I can get paid. But at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to impress any certain person. I do really enjoy it. And I like just putting the content out. So I just quit paying attention to it. And I try to make sure that I look at my videos, I critique them, and I try to always make them better. Like with the microphones on the podcast here, the cameras that are on it. I try to get better with my editing. I'm trying to pay attention to stuff like that. I try to watch the videos that I like. Like when you came in, I was watching Joe Rogan, and that's how I get to learn. Like I figure out like what's he doing? Like how's he make his podcast flow so well? And it's learning how to talk to people, and it's just learning. And I think that's part of it. I think I just love the whole process, learning and meeting new people. Big thing for me, this podcast has been the best thing ever because I get to meet so many people that are, like I said earlier, that everyone comes on, they're passionate about what they do in life. And those are the kind of people I want around me. And so like everyone that's been on the podcast, I've really like tried to pull myself closer to them, whether they like it or not. Like I pull myself into them. Like I just follow them on social media. I'm liking them. I'm reaching out to them every now and then. Like even if it's just little stuff, like maybe it's something that I think could help their business, or if I see them share something that I really like, I'm like, hey, that was a really cool idea. Like you should, whatever you did there, you should keep doing it. Cause that looked really good or whatever it is. Or some of you, I even try to get back on the podcast or just, I try to stay in touch with them because I like their energy.
I'd love to stay in touch and come back.
Yeah, we should do disc golf sometime.
Yeah, we should do that too. I never knew if I would want to start a podcast or not. Mm-hmm. I've never been on one. This is my first one, actually.
Yeah.
But I've done like podcast style, like interviews-ish sort of with like a lot of people in our company that I know from like all around. We would do it on Zoom. I use this thing called StreamYard, and we'd like have like a Zoom type of thing, but it'd be a Facebook Live or whatever. And it would kind of be like this in a way, more geared to like about that person, and like we kind of had more structure. Like I had some like specific questions I would ask everybody. But that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And like it's just like a conversation just like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, now that I'm here, like this is really cool, and I think it'd be something that I might be interested in doing.
I just love meeting people.
Yeah.
I love talking. I love meeting people. I love hearing people's stories. And I love sharing people's stories. Because I had one that here lately that I've been loving. Like this dude's 23 years old, and he was going to school to be a pilot, and funding got cut for his life. Like he had some help getting funding, so he's going to school. He always wanted to be a pilot. Funding got cut, so he had to drop out of school. He started his own flat work concrete business at 21 years old in the middle of COVID, and he just took a chance on it, and it's killing it. But he wants to go back to being a pilot, and like that right there, I love hearing stories like that because I know there's some other kid out there trying to chase his dreams too that's super young, and here's this kid. I feel like those stories help people. I always watch movies. Is there any movies that like inspired you as a kid? Anything like that? I watch movies all the time as a kid that just inspired me. Like,
give me a name of one.
Well, there was one that I always really loved, and it was 3, the Dale Earnhardt movie.
What was it?
It's 3, the Dale Earnhardt movie. So Dale Earnhardt, the NASCAR driver, it was his life story.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's not a big movie.
Okay.
Like it's on YouTube, but it's in 720p.
Nice.
Very low pixel. I had the movie on DVD, and I was dating a girl at the time, and when we broke up, she took it.
No.
On purpose.
Wow. She didn't even like the movie.
No, I don't know. She probably did like the movie. I don't know if she did, but I was like, hey, can I have my movie back? She's like, no, go buy another one. Like she did it on purpose just to be rotten. I'm pretty sure she did. But
I hope you get it in the mail one day from her and just a note like, sorry.
I bet she threw it away a long time ago. But I can't find it anywhere else online. It's only on YouTube. That's the only place I can find it, and it's terrible.
What's the 3?
It's 3 was his number, his NASCAR number.
Okay.
So it's 3, the Dale Earnhardt movie.
3, the Dale.
But it's just his story about like his dad was in racing.
I'm going to write this down so I can try and find it.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, but I'm telling you, it's so low of pixel that it sucks.
Do you have a DVD player still?
Nope.
Oh, man.
I don't. My PC doesn't have a disc drive. My Xbox doesn't have a disc drive. I don't have a DVD player. Nothing.
Do you like NASCAR?
When I was growing, so that's what actually how I ended up watching it. Because when I was growing up, my family was really big into NASCAR, and so my sister Casey, I have 3 sisters. My sister Casey had
You're
her.
related to Tina, aren't you?
Yep. You know my sister Tina?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting. How do you know her?
Through Dan.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
That makes sense.
Like when I lived in Union,
Yeah.
bowling alley Wednesday nights, 9 to 11 was blacklight bowling.
Sure.
We all went.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. They were good friends. That's kind of how I got them on the podcast.
Oh, cool.
I don't remember why I reached out to him. Somebody had told me like you need to talk to Dan. I'm like, all right. No, actually, Dan reached out to me.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. Dan reached out to me.
Good for you, Dan.
Yeah, and I love people like that. I love when someone like has ambition.
He asked you to be on it?
He was just like, hey man, I'm loving the podcast. I'm loving what you're doing. He messaged me one day just talking about the podcast, and then he's like, if you ever need another guest, he's like, I really do like what you're doing. I would come on if you ever need a guest.
That's
or
awesome.
something like that. You know, it wasn't like, hey man, you should. I don't know. It's just
That's
he
awesome.
did it. It was a very wholesome way to do it. I really loved the fact that he just reaching out and wanted to come on the podcast. I loved it. I loved his podcast. I loved hearing his story about like where he was, where he was born, how he got adopted, that whole story there, and like his story about doing the radio towers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like so crazy to me because I'm terrified of heights. But I love, like, he even has a cool story where he was making good money, dropped out of school,
Right.
went to barber school, and just chase his dreams, and like that's what I love.
Yeah.
And he's much happier doing that than he was making more money.
Yep.
And I see that all the time.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Like your life is better. Mm-hmm. Just because of that one thing.
Yeah.
Changing, doing what you want to do.
And he did it just because he felt pulled to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so like that's I have a hard time telling people to chase their dreams. Not so much because I don't think people should chase their dreams, but because I feel like sometimes I don't want to ruin anyone's life. Like as crazy as it sounds, like I just don't want to tell someone like, hey, go out and chase your dreams, because I don't want to see someone like do something like dropping like from doing like the towers, cell phone towers, to go and being a barber. Their pay gets cut however much, and then they're like, oh, my life sucks now. I don't want to be that guy that does that, but also I'm like, you should be doing exactly what makes you happy all the time.
But I mean, you listen to Gary Vee, and like, if that happens, another job's available.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
you're not going to miss out. You're only going to miss out if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or you're going to miss out because you didn't start doing anything. Like, even if you didn't quit to go do your dream, then you're missing out because you didn't do it. But
Yeah.
if you go and try it and you fail at it, like, you're going to learn something from it. You can take it into the next thing.
Yeah.
Like, school is like that for me.
Yeah.
Like,
I think school's like that for a lot of people.
I didn't like school.
No, schools suck. Dude.
I did not like
is
school.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
I would say most people don't. And I think school's a scam, dude. I think school is a scam. I really do. I mean, it's
Let it out. I'm fine with it. You're looking at me like, should I keep going about this?
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I think it's great for people that know they need it for what they want to do.
yes, if you can go and do a direct course.
Yeah.
But the whole gen ed crap is stupid to me.
I had to take chemistry whenever I went to ECC. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do any chemistry in high school. And this was like an introduction to chemistry. Like the first line in like our syllabus or whatever, it was like, this is for people with little to no knowledge of chemistry. And my teacher, we didn't get along at all. Like every class we'd be in some type of argument. But I really felt like back then, like I am not the person, at least back then I wasn't, to like stand up and like stand out for like things that, like I didn't like, he would teach us something and then the next day expect us to know everything he taught when we had no idea about something. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know what it was about this class, but like I would talk because other people felt the same. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And like, I had a meeting with
You're talking to the other kids saying that.
Huh?
You're talking to like the other kids in the class saying like, this is ridiculous.
They're saying it too. And, but I would talk to the teacher and be like, how do you expect us to do any of this? Like I had a meeting with like the head of the science department about this guy. And like, it was ridiculous. And why are we on this? Oh, like, why did I have to take chemistry?
Yeah.
It was for nothing.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Right.
Scam. I'm back there with you.
I had to take an East Asian civilization class. Yeah. East Asian civilization pre-1800s. Why did I have to take that class? I mean, actually, the class was really cool. That was one of my favorite classes in college, but also it was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
It was a big waste of my, and that's why I as much as I didn't know it when I was younger, I know it now, but when I was younger, I was always pulled towards what makes me happy. And like, I remember I went to tech school to be an electrician
In Lynn?
in Lynn. And it was all based off of someone else's recommendation. I liked auto body because I like cars. So I wanted to work on cars, but I don't like motors. I wanted to make them pretty because it was an art. And for me, that was like a satisfaction I got out of it, was painting a car. And so I was going to go do that. And then someone convinced me that there was no money in it and I should be an electrician because that's where the money's at. And so I'm like, okay. So I dropped out. I wasn't in school yet for it, but I was qualified for it. Like they told me I had the class already. And then I backed out of that. It was like a selective. Only 30 kids got in. It was very hard to get in because every kid wanted it. I got in and dropped it and then went to school to be an electrician. I went for 2 days. Knew I hated it so much, I dropped out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it took me, I ended up, I just knew. I knew after 2 days, I'm like, this is not me. I made the wrong choice.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it is. I think
said, oh, no, but like, yeah.
I think that.
Like, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Right. I think that a lot of people just push through some of the suffering a lot of times. Because I actually had one of my best friends went to it because I was going to be an electrician too. he's still an electrician to this day.
Does he like it?
Hates it.
Oh no.
I had him. I asked him.
Is that what I meant? Oh no.
No, I think he would agree. Like I think that I asked him to come work on my building one time, do electric work because I thought he enjoyed it. And he's like, dude, the last thing I want to do is electric work. He's like, I'll do anything else. He's like, I'd rather dig a ditch than have to sit here and wire anything. And I was like, really? Like, I figured this would be way better than like most other jobs. Like I actually think electrician as a job wouldn't be that bad because most of the time you're inside, you're not outside the mud and the rain, everything like that. It's usually most of the stuff like, I don't know. I just figured like it's a pretty kosher job compared to some of it. It's not very dirty.
Way better in plumbing.
Way better than plumbing. Way better than drywall. I think drywall, like having to sand a ceiling.
Yeah, no thanks.
Just imagine your arms above your head all day long. You're getting covered in dust. You're inhaling the dust all day.
I won't be in construction ever in my life.
It's tough. It's hard work. You're beating your body up. I think electric, unless you're getting shocked. Which I'm sure at first you do, but after a while, I'm sure you figure it out. I just think it'd be the better way to go. But yeah, he hated it. And I just think about, I don't know.
I think some people get scared to leave what's safe. Like like what Dan was making good money climbing towers and stuff. But some people will have a different type of job that's like they got their 401k, they got their health insurance, they got all of these things that they don't, but then they don't like their job. And it's like, oh, I can't leave. I got health insurance.
Yeah.
But like, I know that there's some situations like someone might have a really big need for it and like it's worth suffering to like take care of them. But like, I think that most people, you can figure out another way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you're doing something that makes you happy, like your days go by so much faster.
Yeah.
And life's just so much better. And it's sure you're not making as much money, but it's way easier to go there and make that money if you don't actually hate your job every day. If you're not having to force yourself to go in. I got a lot of friends that do jobs they hate, and I try to convince them, but I don't know.
I don't think people have to like necessarily just quit right away either. I think finding like little pockets of time to like start learning or putting something in motion towards what you want to do and do it as your hobby at first.
Yeah.
Pull a phone out, like you said, and make content with it. Like nothing has to be pretty. Like
No. Content is big, I think. I think a lot of more people should be making content.
the average age. Can we look up the average age? I can do it on my phone, actually. The average age of like someone on TikTok. I think like it's over 50 is a big percentage of that.
You should Google that. Could you Google that?
She's like, he's got his phone out. He can do it.
No, I kind of want to see it on here anyway.
I think there's a like I don't know, like
user age. Yeah,
user age of TikTokers. I don't know.
Average age, user age. What's it say?
It's like the opposite of what I said.
60% are between the ages of 16 and 24. 26% are between the ages of 25 and 44. 80% are between the ages of 16 to 34. Wait.
Yeah.
So from 24 to 34, that's
80% of it.
That's a big gap right there.
Yeah, there's a big gap.
Maybe it was the
click the
percentage
link.
of like new people on it is what I heard. I think it was Gary Vee that said it. It would be him, right?
The longer it's out, the more it's.
But there's who is it? There's a bunch of like older people making content.
Yeah.
They have their phone and they're just talking to it or doing whatever. Like it's so simple. I hear the excuses like, I'm not a tech person. I don't know how to do all that stuff. And it's like, because you haven't started trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Google and YouTube. It'll teach you everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they can figure it out for sure. It's just an excuse.
Yeah.
They just use it as an excuse. And it's going to suck at first, but I think Gary's big on, he talks about how there's so many young kids making $50,000, $60,000 a year making content on YouTube and TikTok that what does he say? He says something about kids are lazy. Kids aren't lazy nowadays. Everybody wants to say that kids are lazy nowadays, but they're not. They just know that going to work and working an 8-hour job that sucks and making $50,000 a year isn't worth it when they can stay at home and make content and play video games and do what they like and make $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they're doing exactly what they want.
I think the older generation is like really into no one wants to work nowadays, and it's like no, there's just other options available now.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think that whole they don't want to work things like is just an excuse, because I think a lot of people don't want to pay them either. Like I think a lot of employers just aren't willing to pay people what they're supposed to be paid.
Yeah.
You know, they still want to pay them $10 an hour. Minimum wage in Missouri is $12 an hour right now. You know, and I think that's a minimum wage job. You know, if you want someone like someone that's doing any type of manual labor job, they should be getting paid good money.
Yeah.
Like starting out closer to $20 an hour. But you know, they're gonna have to charge more. The company's gonna have to charge more. It's all gonna come back around. Right? The consumer is the one that's gonna have to pay for it in the long run. But at the end of the day, the workers need to get paid more. And I think a lot of places are greedy, because I think a lot of business owners are charging more. Like someone that owns a construction company, they're charging more. They're putting more on their hourly rate, but they're still trying to pay their employees the exact same as they were 5 years ago.
Could it be because of like cost of goods or whatever? Cost of goods.
No, I think they always
materials.
Yeah, I think they're always marking that up 20% anyway. I think they're just trying to cheap out and put it in their own pocket, because they want to go out and buy a new car, or they want to buy a new lake house, or they want to buy something new side by side, or a new boat for themselves.
Gotcha.
I think they want to put it back in their own pocket. I don't think a lot of these employers, their best intention is on
The employee. Culture is huge. You have to have a good culture in your workplace. Like if you're managing any type of team, or like that's where you're going to see churn, like employees go in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can usually.
You could pay them like however much you want to pay them, but if you have their experience at work, even better.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a spot right there.
Yeah. If you pay good enough, someone will come work for you. Yeah. Any job, I think. If you're willing to treat the employees right and pay them good, yeah, they'll stick around.
For sure.
I think that, yeah, and that's in anything, like a team or anything. Like you saying, like if you have a bad leader in it, you're going to have a high turnaround, and that's usually pretty telling of the company. Like if there's a company that you're wanting to go work for, and there's people in and out there all the time, it's probably maybe work condition, but it's probably the leadership
I think
that's
so.
in command of it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to wrap this up?
Sure.
We've probably been in it by an hour and a half,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit longer.
Almost 2 hours.
Have we been 2 hours?
Yeah.
Over 2 hours? Yeah, that's fine. I want you to sign my banner
Definitely.
before you get out of here.
I will.
You want to plug anything? Your drinks, maybe?
Yeah, if you want to learn more about our healthy energy drink, you can go to trytaka.com, Trytaka.
Okay.
You're going to find a video of me. It'll explain there's 3 different versions of it. And then down there on the page, there's like a link for each 3 different versions to learn more about it specifically and see which one would help you out the most.
Cool. And then can they reach out to you like on any socials too?
Yeah, at
I'll try.
The Real James Johnson is my one on Instagram. There's a link in there that'll take you to all my other ones as well. But yeah, if you guys ever have any questions about anything we talked about, hit me up and send me a message. Love to chat, meet more people that listen to the podcast.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. And let's play disc golf sometime.
let's do it.
I'm down,
If
man.
anybody listening plays disc golf and they want to come, you're coming with us.
Hit them up.
We'll do a Ryan Wilson podcast disc golf round.
Maybe we could definitely find a way to make some content out of it.
Yeah, meetup round. I have like a portable basket. I'll just bring it out here. We can mess around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd be down with that.
Or you can come to my house. We'll cook.
Yeah, I'm down.
After
Whatever
the
you want.
20th, we'll get some beers.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm always down for some beer.
Heck yeah.
All right, man. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you guys. Peace.